always make sure the message reach them.
Live from Kingston, Jamaica, broadcasting around the world. You're watching the Teach Them YouTube show. Intellectual, yet stimulating. Fair, frank, and factual. And now,
broadcasting live.
We will broadcast
live. This is Extra Class, streaming to the world and beyond.
Hey, let's go.
You know, it's Teach Them, the #1 intellectual blogging panel on the YouTube channel.
Good night, everyone. Let me know if you're seeing me clearly. Let me know if you're hearing me clearly. If you're seeing and hearing me clearly, welcome to another episode of Extra Class, episode number 347. I trust that everybody is okay. I trust that everybody who is seeing my face and hearing my voice, you, your family, you are doing very well. Yeah, Scotty is having some technical issues. Hopefully it is sorted on her side. I don't know, so waiting on her. Well, I kind of see her watch a very I don't know, we used to go. I don't know I'm to our internet and our computer, but we get around to that. You see? Auntie but peeps, we're there. Yes, and it's another week, and next Saturday night. Big up on yourself for the people and we're there. I know some people still don't realize that I stream on the Saturday nights now. And thing, so I'm gonna try to see if we can get Scotty in on the stream. I know what's going on, man. Just probably need a new computer, you know, to that problem. But you hear me though?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Well,
but
this is an internet issue. So resetting is one, but then that's why I tell us that I probably need a hardline connection instead of depending on the Wi-Fi. So I don't know. So, but you hear me clearly.
It's just the internet itself. Even on my phone, it's causing that issue.
Okay.
I think it's the internet.
And you plug out the modem and plug in the back?
Reset it.
Kind of hear one audio thing I mean, I like. Yeah, man. There's a feedback on your audio thing. I don't know where that comes from. It's just choppy. Probably just.
We only knows because.
It's just a bit choppy. Please, give me a minute. Let me try to figure out some things on Scotty's side. Your background nice though, if you do it.
No, makes sense. Yes, maybe. Come on, plug out the interface and plug back in our laptop.
The interface? Not really. It's more, I think you could probably do that still. So you probably have to just plug out the modem and make it rest say a minute or two. And then you try me bring you back when you come back here. And see if it better.
Alright.
Cool. And you the restart your computer?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, we started.
Yeah, I get a little feedback coming. I love this. So. Show me there. Yeah, peeps. So sorry about that. Some technical issue. We were doing the tests and it was still the same thing. So I was hoping that it would improve by now, but it hasn't. But yeah, we're there. Give thanks. My apologies. You know them things here. You know, as long as you have a live stream, something will go wrong invariably somewhere along the line, the time. So yeah, man, one of them things. You see, what we're there. I'm comfortable about some things. You understand? I didn't really want to start about nothing Scotty in the boat, but you know the maths go. What if I look at things going on over a week? You see, Richie, go MS. There's another Richie, Pittsburgh, good night. Things the first time I'm seeing the name. It's a reconnect. Yeah, man, we'll try that. Dante, Curtis, Rosie, my sister, King Warrior, DeAndre, all of the people, Kimberly Campbell. I think it's the first time I'm seeing that name as well. Dexter Brown, Moonlight. All of the people, Fimi 2 cents, that name the bad, mad. Do I? Mad. So peeps, we're there. Zane, I am on my side testing out and something else too. So I guess when we figure it out, if we're not smart, but we saw what I go and said we. You Zane? Yeah man. Jamaica to rotted. if I don't want to go next. Is it boom. So I'm gonna set up my side earlier, so is in. Where you chat there? Round here, so. Yes. Hey, we look like a balance here now. Yes, again. So yeah, man, a portion of local things are going on. And the COVID situation, thank God, is showing some signs of light at the tunnel. Let me put it that way there. I know that it takes just one spark for the COVID outbreak to reignite. We're seeing where a city of 9 million people was shut down in China throughout the course of the week because of a spike in COVID numbers. And there are more and more. Big up to the people that we are forwarding. I soon hear some people in a few. More and more people becoming infected in China. So you and I both know that it takes just a spark to light back the COVID flames. However, that said, in the Jamaican context, the numbers have significantly reduced. Unfortunately, I think for the past 24 hours, there were 5 fatalities. I don't even know off the top of my head what are the numbers, because the truth is, I got to a point where the COVID thing was just, I just never want to deal with it no more in terms of, keeping abreast as to. So, yeah, but I think, unfortunately, 5 Jamaicans died recently as a result of COVID complications. We hope that the fatality rate continues to decrease and the numbers are kept in check. That said, though, I also know, face-to-face school has resumed in full force. Many students are out. Some students still not read school yet, but the numbers are looking good. So that in itself is another problem as the work world continue to open up again in terms of physical people going back to work physically. That again will pose another problem. And I am certain that somewhere along the line the entertainment sector will be reopened. Just let me say that again. The entertainment sector, I am sure that plans are afoot to reopen it, and just like that, we can go back to square one if we are not careful. But the truth of the matter is that it had to be reopened at some point in time. School had to be open. It was just at a point now where the youths them suffer long enough, and we had to go back in the face-to-face situation. So we will have to proceed with caution. We will have to proceed knowing that we're still in a delicate situation. Many persons, are treating with it like it no exists, but we have to be careful. We have to tread carefully. You understand? And as the economy reopens, it we have to try to strike a balance between leisure and trying to keep the thing on a level, because we don't want to go back where we are come from, brother. It wasn't fun. I was having a conversation with Scotty today, and I said, "See what go on." Well, we have to count the blessings, because there are many people who were struggling financially, economically prior to COVID, and COVID has totally decimated some people's livelihood, and many people have been struggling to put food on the table, and I mean, it is rough. So we have to, as the country gradually reopens and things are appearing, it's appearing that there's over the horizon, beyond the horizon, some semblance of normalcy returning. We have to be cognizant of the fact that you only want one case in a one place, and the whole thing gone back to waste. You understand? So them local things there. Yeah, and the Russia-Ukraine situation has also drawn the attention away from the COVID situation in many instances, and understandably so. The Ukraine-Russia situation has implications far and wide the world over, and whilst the fallout will not be close to the pandemic situation from an economic perspective in Jamaica, we have been feeling the crunch, and we will continue to do so. I dare say. Zane, Scotty is still choppy. But I'm gonna bring you in still, and we just so we can do. Just a minute, peeps. Yeah. Yeah, you hear me though? Alright. You hearing me? Scotty? Alright, try to figure out some things from your side. I make get rid of her. Yeah. And things. See, so I know when you sort out your thing. And I want to tell you, I left me yard this morning and I got Scotty, I go fix up the background and set up light and all, then sit there, and then right now, I don't see her here, you know, it's the devil, you see. Tell you about that fella, you know. You understand? Go on build still. Hopefully the internet balance out itself as we go along. So, you hear me though?
Yeah.
Alright, that's good. Me I hear it too. So you can always talk. The people then we good as hear you said we. Talk, let me see if you hear me talk come true.
Good day.
Oh yeah, them I hear you. Me I put you up on screen still. You know look nice enough, but me still I put you up there. You can tell them good night. You know, so. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm glad mine balance. Me I tell you the truth. Better yours than mine tonight. Yeah, me realize, but you know, I just say I technology man, them things. So I don't know if I probably bandwidth problems in your place. So hopefully it clear up soon.
Even on the phone, it's up to GG.
Yeah, probably I need for even disable it on the phone too, and see if you get a little bit more bandwidth and then something. So I don't know. And you're sure you connect? You're sure? Hold on, are the 5G or the other one you're connected to?
5G.
Nah man, connect to the other one. The 5G is a close proximity, like if you're downstairs, but like up here, so is the other one it gives you a greater range. Give me a minute a piece. We are trying to balance course in a problem. Alright, so we'll go and talk until she sort out her thing. Yeah. Alright. So also in the initial stages of the COVID fight, I would have gone on record and stating that how we were handling the situation early out deserve, you know what I mean, commendations. There were many missteps subsequently along the way, you understand, and many people started to lose trust in the COVID fight, and one thing led to the other. I saw where the Minister of National Security, not Security, Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, in a press briefing said some things, and you know, politicians and all don't normally take responsibility. There's normally very little accountability within the political framework. Let me talk to Scotty a little bit. See, so here what you do now. You're going to switch over to the 2.4 gigahertz band and restart your system again and then try forward back in. See? It's going to work, man. So, match up the thing. Get rid. Boom. So. Yeah, peeps. So, as I said, it was very interesting to hear the Minister of Health admitting that they would have made missteps. She a call back already. Auntie. Not coming yet. So, Mocha Fest misstep. So, Tufton lists Negril Party among some of the errors made in management of the pandemic. As Jamaica marks 2 years since the first case of the novel corona was confirmed in the island, the Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, has accepted that some missteps were made in dealing with the crisis locally, but argued that these were due to the novelty of the virus and not bad management I mean, sure about that, you know, but yeah, I guess a part of the problem. Zane? Any better? Audio is better. Alright. Right. So I'm hopefully it smooth out as we go along still. And thing.
Okay.
Think I got a problem. I probably need to give you my laptop. To stream it, because your laptop have a bag of things on it and probably processing power. Still need look like that. And things. So I don't know. But we look into that. But just when you're ready for talk, you just talk, you know, because we are here, but you don't look so hard on screen.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Alright, so anytime you're ready for chime in, you just do your things, yeah? So we are talking about Tufton admitting that there were some missteps along the way. What do you think about that?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I appreciate you that he could have acknowledged that there were missteps. And that he could highlight them and say, we faltered here and here. And, you know, it takes a big man to say, something or something went wrong. As well, all of them would prefer to hide and give excuses and not acknowledge that something went wrong. I appreciate something to that.
Oh, your friend, Tuffy. Okay, cool.
We're not my friends. Not MP.
No, just I forgot to say MP for you, no? Just a Tuffy like couldn't go way back from around
I appreciate
Jerusalem Basic School.
I appreciate the honorable Christopher.
No, she's not playing on her speaker, none at all. I don't think her computer speaker, I think she's listening through the audio interface and the audio is feeding back through that. So her speaker is not in play. See? So watch you now. Among the decisions which Tufton highlighted as missteps was a decision to allow the staging of Mocha Fest in Negri last May, which was not sanctioned by the government. Mm-hmm. He said this eroded some confidence, a lot of confidence as a matter of fact. Zane, according to Tufton, this gave some Jamaicans the impression that there were different rules based on color and class. And the truth is that the notion exists long before that, and it was just heightened during that situation. In retrospect, Scotty, also, is it possible for you to try to connect to Shaki's Wi-Fi?
I tried that, but it's extremely weak.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's have to go on, right? She echoing bad? No, I mean, unfortunate. Oh, them say them hear echo? Really? How is that? Teach. Them can change your sound from stereo to mono. Echo. Yeah, they must say echo, Scotty. Echo. Alright, guys, I'm here now. Let me see how it's sound for my phone. Echo, Scotty. Echo. Alright, guys, I'm here now. Let me see how it's sound. I don't know. I'm not here now. Richie! Yeah, you want echo? Scotty, echo mine not. I think it's the earphone. Alright, Scotty.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so you're going to plug out the earphone out of the interface.
Just show me.
Yes, screw off and plug in your computer and change over and see what's going on. Only from Scotty. Alright, so my audio good. Sorry, and thanks for your patience, please. We're trying to, fix things. Yes, and Scotty has been doing well with the technology of late. But we try kind of hard for communicate certain things while we're streaming. So okay, so I have closed her thing. Are you here? Do you hear echo when I speak? You get an echo from me? So let me know. If not, I can proceed. Oh, I am good. Alright, share a call back. I'm going to try bringing. You understand?
I hear you.
Yeah, hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay, alright. Are you hearing an echo from Scotty now, guys?
But no, I'm not hearing you.
Right, you're not gonna hear me through that. That's the purpose of that. You're not gonna hear me. You're not gonna hear when you talk. You're not gonna hear you in your headphone again. If you get what I say.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
All right. So let me know if you not hear Scotty without echo now. Scotty still echoing.
Some of them. Give up.
Yeah, me then want to do that too. Scotty still an echo.
Hello.
All right. Let me see. Probably it's not Scotty I fault then. Let me see if I problem. Preferences. Let me change over my audio route, but when I'm alone, I not hear the echo. But let me see like how Scotty there for that the problem. Speakers. Speaker. Scotty go lay down. Scotty, talk to me here.
Still hearing the echo?
Alright guys. Yeah man, she do all of that in a DSD. She even restart the computer. Zane and thing. Oh no, Scotty talk now, you can't just talk one time and say we are here echo. You know what I mean?
May I ask if you still hear the echo? Am I still echoing?
Are you playing the stream on your phone?
Yes, which me gonna
You're playing the stream on your phone?
No, I'm not.
Okay. No, she good now. No echo.
Somebody said good now.
Right, it fixed. Oh, so me need to figure out. Cause I was routing by the audio through my audio interface. But no, me not hear myself through my mic when me talk, you know. I mean, I like that. Yeah, drink to a friend. She need to talk more. Alright, they say you're good now. So if your picture improve throughout the stream, I'll bring you in visually, but go and talk. You understand? Alright, that was so I think the issue, the echo, we need to fix some things. Alright, but it's alright, we figure that out. So now, according to Tufton, this gave some Jamaicans the impression that there were different rules based on color or class. In retrospect, and the 2020 vision is perfect vision, some things could have been done differently. But having said that, the reality is that at that particular point in time when some decisions were made, they were made with imperfect information on the circumstances at the time, and very importantly, that we did not have a playbook for this particular public health crisis. See? So, I can appreciate sound good now. Give thanks, guys. Manners and respect. And things. So, we need to work on some technical issues going forward to try to balance it out. But she's in a good place now in terms of visuals, and even though the camera not fixed right and everything, but yeah, everything good. I still have to see somewhere wild on one side and say, but we work on these things and then sit me. You see, so eventually she will get a hang of it too, and she can troubleshoot on her side independently too. So we are trying to fix that. So big up to the Minister of Health for publicly accepting that they did some things wrong, and I appreciate that. Politicians who normally take responsibility are held accountable. Or hold themselves accountable, that is. They prefer to deflect and them something there. So, yeah. This article was published before Scotty need fiber connection. And that you got, you know, LD, and that you have, man. I don't know. Like, if fiber, I don't know what I go on with it. So
but
just
I tell you, from the other day, I noticed it is not what it like. It's shaky.
Yeah, but I see him internet. Me have the same days. ISP me have Scotty, so I don't know. I don't have no issue with my internet.
I don't know.
So I don't know.
You haven't lucky a bit.
Well, I would have hoped not because I pay you every month. Get which flow, brother? You can't in a den time you use your money and pay for flow internet, man. Man, go and go sleep here, man. Cause you look like you're mad. Slow flow. Oh, sir. Negative. Murders drop 7.4% as other major crimes remain low, says the JCF. It is always interesting to note that. Good night, Ish. Miss V. Levine, I haven't seen you in a long time. Hope you're okay. It's always interesting to note that when you hear the crime statistics, you don't feel, feel it up on the ground. You understand?
No.
And thing. So after all that speaker problem, like up the stream, damn it. I chose Johnny, man, then stay a bad man. What I saw them, So the police are reporting a 7.4% decline in murders since the start of the year. So the latest crime statistics show that 261 people were killed up to Sunday. And that has changed significantly since, because I soon touch some stories. See? So up to Sunday of this week, 261 Jamaicans were murdered officially on the books, when compared to 282 murders reported for the corresponding period last year. I mean, an improvement is an improvement, you understand? But at this point of the year, there's no way we should have over 61 murders, much less 261. You get what I mean, Scotty?
Yeah, I get you.
This continued the downward trend in murder figures since last month. So the latest Jamaica Constabulary Force periodic crime statistics review shows that the St. James Police Division leads the island's murder count with 44 cases. We should have 44 cases of murder across the country, and I won't much less to have one police division a record 44. You understand? But you have to give thanks to small mercies, I suppose. This represents a 15.8% increase when compared to the 38 murders reported in the division up to March 6 last year. However, St. Mary had the highest percentage increase in murders. Like a whole lot of foolishness are going around here now. With a 700% rise, really. There were 8 murders committed in the parish up to Sunday, compared with 1 for the corresponding period in 2021. Portland is the least murderous parish. We can always give thanks to Portland. In Jamaica, with only 3 incidents being reported this year. There were only 2 cases of murders reported this time last year in Portland. Now, alongside murders, incidents of shootings, rapes, robberies, and break-ins are continuing to trend downwards, the JCF said. This has resulted in an overall decline of 15.8% in the national crime statistics for the year so far. Now, numerically, a total of 831 serious and violent crimes were reported up to Sunday, when compared to 987 incidents reported for the corresponding period last year. Now, a further breakdown of the crime data shows that there are 193 cases of shooting over the period under review, compared to 245 for the same period last year, which represents a decrease of 21.20%. Also, there have been fewer incidents of rape, give thanks, with a decrease of 48.6%. That is good, which is what 100, but stages and phases. So far this year, between January 1 and March 6, there have been 54 cases of rapes. That is a lot. In comparison to the 104 reported over the same period last year. So up to this point last year, 105 robberies saw a 14.7% decrease with 168 incidents this year compared to 197 last year for the same period. And some 155 break-ins were recorded up to March 6 this year, down from 158 observed in the corresponding period. So, yes, you're still an echo. No, Bachelor, you sure about that? People, Scott is still an echo? I hope not. Because then, we have to go send our bed like what Richie said. I think there is some static coming through from your side still. I think your fan is blowing into the mic. I think that may be the issue. Yes, Scotty, I know you have a
Somebody
fan
said
blowing
no
on.
echo, so I don't know.
Right, so if you can angle your fan when I blow up on the mic. Right, no echo, there's a no echo. Probably Bachelor stream late. You understand? Delayed. You could have an internet problem like that.
I'm Bachelor there for the same Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that may I say. Right, sis, so based on the statistics, the crime situation is improving slightly. when compared to last year. And even though the numbers are still high, we still have to give thanks. Because them could have worse too, don't?
Yes.
And let me take the opportunity to express my appreciation for the members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force who continue to bring the fight to the criminals in the country, who continue to find the guns and make the arrests, and the judiciary who continue to put these people in front of the courts and convictions are had where possible and them something, because I know police alone can't fix the problem. The judiciary alone can't fix the problem. It will take a concerted effort from all well-thinking, law-abiding Jamaican citizens to treat with the situation. So big up to all of the stakeholders in the crime fight, and big up to the citizens who continue to provide information to the police. We have to play our part. You understand? My beard black and dark and nice though. But yeah. I want to tell you. Then after me not blind, then me can't see myself. Okay. What you mean? I will say them, man. Okay. But ladies, talk to me beard there. Talk to me beard. Because Scotty are going like she want rain on my parade. You understand? Want to hold up my beard. You see it? Yeah, man. So, give thanks to the police officers, them answer. We appreciate the ones, them, in our real life. You understand? Because some people go on like the police, they don't do nothing good about it, you know. You see them people there, who not good. You understand? Yeah, police are the foolishest about it, yes or no, say no. But big up to the ones them who do the thing the right way, the bright way. Whether night or whether day. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, give thanks. Yeah. Speaking about police, we are going after the money. Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson says law enforcement agencies will intensify their partnerships and coordinated operations to seize the unexplained wealth of criminals. Scotty, you no money there where you can't explain? Or you get it?
No, sir.
No. Me should be out,
none
you know.
whatsoever.
That me I tell you. me not condone no wrongs. According to a release, the commissioner, who was speaking at a press conference on Thursday, March 10, said the forfeiture of the proceeds of crime is critical in permanently dismantling criminal organizations. Now, through the collaborative efforts of the police working with the Financial Investigations Division, FID, Customs, and the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency, MOCA, you will see more assets seized. You will see criminals forfeiting their ill-gotten gains. Let me serve notice today. We are going after the money. Well, the commissioner said the right things, you know.
Yes.
He may saying the right things. However,
if you follow the money trail, you will get to the genesis of the thing.
But as me say, saying the right things is one, you know. You understand? But doing the right things is the next. See, Empress Janet said beards look good, was admiring before you said it. Let me not tell you, man. I'm bad. Big up yourself, Empress Janet. Yeah, some people are trying to hold it. And it's always your friends, them always are trying to hold it down in a life in the Empress Janet. Always your friend, them. You see? Yeah. Now, make we continue. We said that already, the criminals we are dealing with are not poor, unattached. Let me read this properly. The criminals we are dealing with are not poor, unattached youth who are hungry and destitute. Far from it. These are men and women who have made a conscious decision to pursue a life of crime and violence. They are amassing considerable amounts of wealth, and they are using that wealth to purchase guns, to hire gunmen, and support gangs, he added. Now, the commissioner encouraged the public to support the work of the law enforcement community by providing information that will lead to arrests and charges and seizures. So criminals thrive when good people make the decision to do nothing. We are going after the money, but feel free to direct us to where to find it, he urged. The man said they might go after the money, but feel free to help them find it, you know what I mean? So during the press conference, in the press conference held in partnership with the FID, Customs and Mocha. Anderson also noted that strategic partnerships are yielding results, leading to several seizures and arrests. He said that over 1 week, the Jamaica Constabulary Force recovered 44 illegal guns and arrested 3 persons in connection with the 21 guns discovered at the Jamaica Customs Agency. We are strengthening that customs partnership in a big way. You are going to see a lot more activities in relation to that. We also seized another 23 weapons off the road, and that was in partnership with the Jamaica Defense Force. We charged 14 persons so far related to those seizures. So, one of the concerns is that when guns are seized, sometimes you don't hear any mention of any arrests being made. And sometimes I think that is strategic from the police's part as well. But the commissioner
as you would have said.
Yeah, the commissioner is saying that so for 21 of the 44 guns, 3 people, those were the ones found through the wharf. 3 people have been arrested. For the 23 that were found on the road around a people house back and people roof and a people bed, 14 people have so far been arrested and charged. Yeah? So the formation of the JCF and JDF Joint Anti-Gang Task Force is another strategic partnership in addressing the crime and violence. Meanwhile, the police commissioner pointed out that gangs thrive because of broader support systems that they rely upon, and as such, law enforcement will be going after the relatives, friends, and associates who assist the criminals in their activities. The girlfriends and mothers who collect the extortion money, the school friends who register assets in their name, businesses that knowingly help them launder money, the family members and friends who try to clear the illegal weapons and ammunition. All of them are part of the gang and all of them are our target, he warned. Now, Chief Technical Director of the FID, Selvin Hay, said that the entity has signed 3 memoranda of understanding with the Integrity Commission, MOCA and the JCF to provide a framework for information sharing, analysis, provision of financial profiles or documents for the prevention, detection, investigation and prosecution of corruption, financial crime and revenue collection, among other things. He said another agreement will be signed shortly with the Jamaica Customs. Now, let me take this time to say that in theory this sounds good. I hope that in practicality and reality,
On the ground?
its implementation will be far-reaching and the results will speak for themselves. So the commissioner, as I said, is saying all the right things. And in fairness to the JCFCs, in the past few months, we have seen them in droves on the streets in different places, and we have seen some of the work paying off in terms of the seizure of guns and arrests of people of interest and wanted people and these things. So as I said, congratulations to the members of the JCF who continue to put in the work, who continue to live by the vow that they took to serve and protect. Yeah, man, me appreciate it. I know many people, I am speaking on behalf of many people. And consequently to that, don't get me wrong, you have some members of the police force sound like a political campaign. It sounds like progress to me still, Samba. So that may I take it as right now. Zane, whilst we have members of the force who are less than, good night Kerry, it's good to see you, who are less than honest and who themselves are criminals, we must support the police force as best as we can, the good members of the police force, as the crime fight continues. The police force, the police alone cannot fight crime, the government alone can't fight crime, the military alone can't fight crime. It takes the entire Jamaica to fight crime. See? So, until otherwise, I will take this as a sign of things to come. And if... Right, so that me say Reds, I hope these things are implemented. So, I mean, some of them are ongoing already, you understand? It's just more things I'm planning to add to the thing. And these things are long in coming, but better late than never. We give thanks. You see it? Speaking about the police and them thing, cocaine valued at $133 million seized in St. James. Businessman arrested. So lawmen assigned to the Narcotics and St. James Division seized a large quantity of cocaine during an operation along the Long Hill Main Road in Anchovy, St. James on Monday, March 7. Now, reported that about 3 p.m., lawmen were in the area when they signaled the driver of a Toyota Hiace bus to stop. He complied, and a search of the vehicle yielded 16 rectangular-shaped packages containing cocaine. He was accosted and taken into custody, and the motor vehicle along with the jug were seized. The illicit jug has an estimated street value of 133 million Jamaican dollars. That is a lot of money by any stretch of the imagination. Zane? That money could buy a lot of guns and a lot of ammunition.
Yes.
As is usually the case in these instances. Yes, I mean, so well done to the police again. This look like they were acting information, even though they don't say it. You understand? But give thanks. Wanted man apprehended in St. Elizabeth. So 22-year-old Tyreek Gale, otherwise called Pops, who was wanted for a shooting with intent by the Kingston Western Police, has been captured. The police say Gale was apprehended in St. Elizabeth on Thursday. The police report at about 4 a.m. Gale was captured during a mission-driven operation in Nain, in the parish. Them what color lip gloss that? You understand? You see white. You understand? See it there? Cause see it there? See it there? You can't see it? Oh, you could have can't see it. You see it? See it there?
Carry J, trouble.
Plistex medicated lip ointment, Kerry. That is what it is. Because the ear see, it makes my lip dry, and I know want my lip them look like some eel back. You understand? So I protect them. Now leave me. Illegal gun seized in Hanover, man arrested. A police military operation conducted by members of the Joint Anti-Gang Task Force has yielded the recovery of a firearm and several rounds of ammunition in Patty Hill, Hanover. I never know some place in Hanover named Patty Hill. It's a P-A-T-T-Y. That's all like a patty to me. You understand? So the 9mm Taurus pistol along with a magazine containing 9mm rounds was recovered in a pre-dawn operation on Thursday. A man was arrested in relation to the seizure, and a quantity of ganja estimated at 50 pounds was also seized in the operation. This is the 9th firearm seized by the task force since its inception recently. Additionally, a total of 163 rounds of ammunition have been seized. Ian White, pick up yourself in a family, give thanks, you know what you go, it just there go and do the do, you know what I mean? So speaking about, remember MPL, Nutrition Product Limited, that place there? Alright, so NPL manager charged with illegal possession of ammunition. No, I don't laugh at him, I just laugh. You understand? Because I find it strange. Strange, this feeling I'm feeling. You understand? No. A manager at the state-run Nutrition Product Limited has been charged with illegal possession of ammunition. It's a very interesting story. Robert Nareen, 41 years old, who is a licensed firearm holder, was held on Sunday after being found in possession of more ammunition than he's licensed to carry. Interesting. He was allegedly found with 2 extra rounds of 9mm bullets. So just 2 still, but enough to have it. So the police reported that the seizure was made during a mobile patrol on Hibiscus Avenue in Duhaney Park, St. Andrew, and Nareen, not sure, taken into custody. And that's Nareen. Nareen was charged after his attorney, Tom Tavares Finsu QC, appeared in court and made a habeas corpus application for his release. The matter was stood down, and following the resumption, the court was informed of the charge. The matter was heard before Senior Parish Judge Lorian Cole Montague. Speaking about Montague, I soon reach on there, in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court. Investigators informed that the case file is to be submitted and the court registry. No. Right. It is, it's 2 extra rounds in enough to have it. But it is good that the police officers who were on, no matter who you be, if you are in contravention of the law, lock him up. You understand? So, we'll see what Mr. Tavares Winston has to say when Mr. Narayan has his day in court. You see? Okay, Father Roberts, give the thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, son. No, you know that the FLA and people always at work, Scotty. And many people take the FLA to court many times. Eh?
Yes.
He did not use all the practice rounds at the range, laugh out loud. But click, I'm not going to get into that. They say I have 2 years, and this me I read when I write. You understand? That's how me learn to read. Read when you sip on the paper. So many people, well, I don't know if it's many. Let me not do that. From time to time, Jamaicans take the FLA to court, especially those who have had their permit revoked or who have been denied a permit. See? Now, there was a particular case that went to, I think, the Court of Appeal, that the FLA won, or the Supreme Court. And it's a very interesting case. I'm going to share it, because we have a lot of FLA things to talk about tonight. As a matter of fact, we'll be here for a while. Sis, I'm really sorry so I can't get up on the screen. Yeah, son. I look nice, because, Jaja, I love you. Yeah, son. But, well, forget the internet sorted out. This not that. Or in the worst case, teacher, you can also be charged for the bullet if you don't have the gun with you. Oh, yeah? Oh, I didn't know that. Give thanks, Black Mamba. I will live and learn, you know. I probably need for do a hardware connection, as I suggest to this. For look into that. Because it would still be probably more stable than the Wi-Fi, seeing that the modem, not the router on the beside. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Plus, I'm probably just give you my computer for just do this one. Because you know that clean and lean. You know what I mean? Yeah, net set that, oh yeah. Wise man, so high. Wise man, so high. Interesting there. Alright, let me take back Scotty have a screen. Scotty, your internet that move shaky. That's that one. So firearm holders want.
A fan teacher come over here.
So there's a time when they come over there. What did happen that time there? Nobody did full of static today.
Different things up.
Firearm holders warned not to jump gun with challenges. So the Court of Appeal has urged firearm holders not to ignore the statutory remedies available to them in the event of disagreements with the FLA over the revocation of users' licenses. Now, the available remedies are first to appeal to the Review Board and the Minister of National Security. Speaking of the Minister of National Security, we'll be talking about them later. If not this one right now, but you understand? If dissatisfaction persists, the matter can then be taken to the Supreme Court. So if you have a grouse with the FLA, the first... Oh, alright, wise man, I say a word. Zane, but your name long for artist name though, wise man. Just work with wise man, man. Zane, wise man, what the artist name? Wise man. Introducing on stage the man who goes by the name, the wise one, the wise man. Yeah, you win. You understand? But he's introducing on stage the artist who hails from where he hails from. He's a wise one. His name is Wise Man Most High. I don't know about that part there, bro. Wise Man. You understand? Yeah, but just look into it. See. But big up yourself, you know, fam. I appreciate the support. Here's a, yeah, man. If you do look like MC working, you can't have it. See? Right. So if you have a problem with the FLA, the first thing you have to do is write the review board. If the review board don't give you the response where you want, then you write to the Minister of National Security. They have the final say. We don't know me feel about that already, you know. But say, oh, the team is so high. Oh, alright. I remember. I say I heard. See? And if the Minister of National Security don't give you the result you want, then they take the matter to the Supreme Court. Alright, so we continue. So the Court of Appeal made the call last Friday when it dismissed an appeal brought by electrician Stedman Broderick against the FLA and ordered him to pay the legal cost of the licensing body. Bombard. Broderick's application for a renewal for his firearms license was denied by the FLA in August of 2019 on the basis that he had failed to establish the need to continue being armed. Really? I find that strange, you know. So when you give him first, that need there don't exist no more. Him not alive in Jamaica, you want more need than that, let me just ask. You understand? That is a good enough need, you know. He is a citizen of Jamaica, there is one more need than that you want. And you're fit and proper. It's not like them reject it because he's not fit and proper. And they must say he can't prove, say, him needy. He can't establish, say him need for have it. You understand? The man is a businessman. Give thanks, Empress Janet. Appreciate that. Tasha, what go on, mommy? Teacher, I don't think that is what happened. One of the easiest way to get the firearm from license holder back. Just cook up something. Okay, well. No, but Gregory. But look at one of Gregory saying that, you know, the matter went in front of the Supreme Court and then the Court of Appeal. So, you don't feel like so them two entities there who they have enough skill set, the justices, to see say something cook up and the man need to get back him thing? You understand? So while saying it cook up is one thing, but when you do the maths and look at the facts, it has been before the court. You know, feel like say the justices them at the Court of Appeal have the competence to treat with the situation and figure out say, you know what I mean? I don't know. But we could go and talk. What me there? My last? Right. The FLA stated that Broderick's license expired in April. So watch this now. So Broderick's application for a renewal of his firearms license was denied by the FLA in August of 2019 on the basis that he had failed to establish the need to continue being armed. The FLA stated that Broderick's license expired in April of 2018 and he applied for a renewal in October that year. So it expired in April. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. A whole heap of months that you know. See, so he applied in October that year. The FLA said that findings, The FLA said that findings of its investigation into whether Broderick's license should be renewed show that he resided and worked in Canada. I'm reading the article in what I never remember. So, the FLA investigation said him live and him work at Canada. A request for an explanation for the 6-month application delay was not forthcoming. As a result, the FLA revoked the license. So the claimant filed an application in January of 2020 in the Supreme Court seeking leave to go to the Judicial Review Court to have the order quashed. The application was refused in October that year, with Justice Natalie Hart-Hines ruling that Broderick had not pursued the statutory remedies before coming to court. The judge awarded costs to the FLA on the basis that Broderick acted unreasonably in making the application when an alternative remedy was available to him. He contended that the FLA did not have the authority under the Act to revoke the license for the reason it did. Broderick stated in court documents that he had contracts to carry out work for entities including the Jamaica Public Service Company. Those contractual obligations, said Broderick, require him to work in violence-plagued communities throughout Jamaica that necessitated a firearm license. Alright, fair enough. Attorney at law Hugh Wildman, who represented Broderick, argued that the Supreme Court judge was wrong to have formed the view that his client had an alternative remedy available to him. Attorney at law Courtney Foster, who represented the FLA, implored the court to uphold the Supreme Court ruling that there was an alternative remedy available to Broderick. The appeal court noted that Broderick was aware that the review board was available to him for a re-evaluation of the decision of the FLA, but he elected not to pursue it. The court also found that he did not have... Alright, Scottigan, I need to hear myself. Let me know if you don't hear no echo around the party. See it? Auntie. You show me there. Over there. The court also found that he did not have an exceptional reason for not approaching the review board. The court indicated that parties who find themselves in circumstances similar to Broderick's should not disregard statutory mechanisms. Broderick had complained that the reason for not going to the review board was because it was continuously breaching the act by failing to review matters within 90 days. In dismissing the appeal, the court ruled that Broderick failed to show that the judge had exercised her discretion on an erroneous premise when she refused the application. The judge had also given directions for Broderick to pursue the remedy, the court said. The court pointed out that the review board can now grant Broderick an extension for his appeal to be heard. Okay, that's not so bad. So him still can appeal to the appeals board at the FLA. And thing. Them FLA thing are kind of normally. Why I don't even know, you know. See, my eyes, them are itch. Well, one of my eye. Your piece, my hand clean. My hand is clean. Well, I would have hoped so, because I did beard light before the stream and wash my hand them multiple times and thing. But my eyes are itch, I don't know. And thing. So, I know. Hopefully the review process, because based on what I see here, so it is not that he's not fit and proper to be a licensed firearm carrier holder, but because of the fact that him permit expire and it take him about 6 months to reapply that a one, plus when them check him not there and all of them something there, and just she a try call back. You see? Auntie. There's still a freeze up, mama. Still a freeze up, but alright, just one talk at that Barber boy. So you know, it is good that the court suggested that the FLA can still give him an extension to apply. My permit was revoked on the basis that I spent too much time in the US. Okay, I know people who, you know, them a license firearm holder and them cut out and them have to forward back to do them renewal and things. So I don't know. The application asks if you live or work overseas too. Oh, so probably that never treated properly in the application process. So I don't know. Kimani Jones, good night fam. Blessings. Lloyd Smith. Okay, nice. Teach them. Why do law-abiding citizens of the land need a business to get a gun? I don't know that they need a business to get a gun. I can't speak specifically to that, but I have known of people who are regular citizens who have license firearm and they have no business. Some men know that is a thing. I don't know that on the FLA application there's a part that says you must have a business. Some men don't know, Gregory. You understand? Or you always renew it on time. Okay, Father Smith. I don't know. As I say, I don't know enough about the FLA to say certain things. I have been wanting to have a discussion with somebody there, and I have tried. So I'm probably need to try again, but we'll see it go. Because when I do these streams and, you know, we share these topics, you know, I see some questions that I think, you know, needs to be ventilated. Some of them don't really make no sense, but sometimes there are some genuine concerns, like some of the points that are being raised now. Zane, because people speak ad nauseum about the FLA and, you know, but when there are genuine questions and concerns and suggestions, it would be good. Gregory is asking that trend base that he may have, right, so fine, and we can't say nothing about that, but and I can say, based on my observation as well, I have known as a regular Joe and regular Joes who are licensed firearm holders. See, they don't own a business. You understand? So, I don't know that is a requirement. That is what I am saying. So, I don't know. You understand? And as I say, I don't know enough about the FLA operations and procedures to speak definitively about some things. That is why I've been trying to seek audience with somebody who in the know at the FLA, preferably Mr. Shane Darling. I mean, I put that out there again. You understand? We need our license despite where we are. Okay. Suppose there's some validity in that and things. So, but I don't know, Gregory. In all honesty, I don't know. See, but if that is your observation, then in the future, as I said, maybe I get a chance to ventilate some of them concerns and questions, I'll most definitely put that and see if we can get some answers on that. Yeah, but the court basically has said, the long and short of this is that if you have an issue with your permit being, where your application being revoked or your permit not renewed, the correct procedure is to appeal to the FLA review board first. If there is no progress there that you are okay with, then the next step is to write the Minister of National Security, and if there's still issues, or if there are still issues, then you make an application for hear the matter in front of the Supreme Court. So they must say you can't just get up and jump come a court and you haven't used the facilities in place for treat with the situation. So, I don't know. Paul Green, big up yourself in the family. Man, as I respect, man. Yeah, man, give thanks. You understand? Yeah. Scott, when I come to Jamaica, I come fix it. Eh? Okay. What did I say?
Okay,
Well,
Mr. Matthew.
yeah, Scott, if I work out that, but it was a mic here, them share you still. I don't know. You understand? Be the internet affair and digital world, but you see it? But match up your thing, brother. Match up your thing, yeah. I ain't no trouble here. Yeah, I would have never do that. Right. Speaking about license firearm holder, we're not done with them yet, you know. Because you see, we speak every day that, you know, every Jamaican should have get gun. I don't agree with that. I mean, we say that publicly. Not every Jamaican should be afforded that opportunity. Because some of we don't have the best of intentions. You understand? However, a man who has been proven fit and proper, and him have the wherewithal, and him can secure the weapon, and him them go through the process, and there are no adverse traces, by all means. You understand? But this thing about every Jamaican if you have a license firearm, a crap. In my humble, I mean, I speak for myself. Where's the Scotty?
I wouldn't agree with that either.
Why, you not agree say a crap, or you not agree say everybody forget it?
No, I wouldn't agree that sorry, everybody forget one.
A regular man say that, you know, sweet in a some general statement, them say, yo, every Jamaican fit. I not agree with that. Never. Empress Mark, good night. Jaja, too much run around at FLA.
Good night, Miss Mark.
So me here. I'm always telling you, as a matter of fact, I heard a political commentator saying that, I don't know the specific cases, that licensed firearm, it has been proven before that licensed firearm have been used to commit murders in the country and not come out of it. So all these things, you understand? But I could go and talk. You are talking about criminals. Then we don't know who are criminal, brother. It's not put it this way, mine Melodia. Not every Jamaican has a temperament to be a licensed firearm holder. And if you think otherwise, then fine. But in my honest observation assessment, many among us do not have the temperament to carry a concealed weapon and to be the owner of a gun permit. Regular, even some local fender bend up on road, Scotty. Man get chop up and stab up. Then if a man got gun and shut up or go on. We have to be real when we are talking.
What I'm saying is when...
Yes, sis.
When I say that I don't think every citizen should get a gun, I'm not speaking to the criminals. I am talking about law-abiding citizens.
Okay.
And all we need it. As you said, some of we have a very short temper, sir. The least thing we're off the handle. As
a matter of fact, there's a story I'm going to share, and based on my observation, it could be a road rage situation, I don't know, but when I share it, I'm going to come back to the point. So watch this now. So I could talk about licensed firearm holder. The X6 killing was allegedly done. Brother, we now go back there, sir. In terms of, you know that, but I understand what you say. Yes, Samba, me get that. The firearm that was never recovered. That's a next story for your next time. But I know you support the point where you say licensed firearm have been used to commit murder and not come out there. See? But watch this now. We are talking about licensed firearm holder now. Watch a style here. licensed firearm holder charged for a shooting man in the eye. Listen to this. A licensed firearm holder has been charged with wounding with intent and illegal possession of firearm. I know some people in the comments that say, teacher, you get charged for illegal possession of firearm and it's a license gun. Yes, if you use a license gun wrong, it can be considered as you're in possession of an illegal firearm. Because there are rules and regulations governing carrying a licensed gun. As a matter of fact, you know, somebody once told me that it is easier for a licensed firearm holder to go to prison than a man with an illegal gun. May I repeat that? The person said it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of an eagle. That is still. But it is easier for a licensed firearm holder to go to prison than a gunman. Because there are certain things that govern you as a licensed firearm holder that the moment you misstep, you're in a problem. Right, Kush? That is it. See? So, the 39-year-old, I don't like call people name like this, but in an article already on the outer road. So, 39-year-old Jerry Savage, again, the man's surname is Savage, and I said, nothing in I said the man's surname is Savage. Yes, and these names strange. 39-year-old Jerry Savage, a driver of Eltham Vista in Spanish Town in the parish, was charged after being pointed out by the injured man. So the police reported at about 8:30 p.m. on Saturday, March 5, the two men had a dispute which spiraled into a fight. During the fight, Savage reportedly pulled his gun and shot the man in the right eye, according to the police. So the man was treated at hospital. Savage was subsequently arrested and his firearm seized. His court date is being finalized. But that's the not say Savage could not act in a self-defense, we don't know. You understand? Because the matter has not been brought in front of the courts yet. But I just say, he has been charged for shooting, wounding with intent and what? Illegal possession of a firearm. One. Next thing, licensed firearm holder among two held with cocaine and cash in St. James. What kind of firearm holder? Licensed firearm holder. Watch this. A licensed firearm holder is one of two men arrested following the seizure of US $100,000 worth of cocaine on Thursday. Information reaching the Observer online is that the men were reportedly held with the cocaine and more than $370,000 cash during an operation by the police in St. James. The operation was carried out by members of the Area 1 Police Narcotics Division. It is reported that about 5:45 p.m., the police conducted a snap operation along the Barretown Main Road in the parish in which a silver 2015 Nissan Sylphy motorcar was intercepted and searched. During the search, the police found 2 kilograms of cocaine and cash inside the vehicle. The men who were traveling in the vehicle were taken into police custody and the drugs and money were seized. Both men are said to be from the parish of St. Anne. Licensed firearm holders. And as me I said, it is all well and good to say, yo, every man need to have gun. No. Negative. Alright. Trelawney brothers charged for killing uncle. Granted bail. Cha-cha. So the two Trelawney brothers charged for the murder of their uncle in an altercation over a kitchen farm have each been granted $400,000 bail. A kitchen farm. Shamario Green and Mikhail Hayam, H-Y-A-M, first may I say that surname there, were ordered to report to the police once weekly and under stop order imposed on them. So in applying for bail, their attorney Abel Dunfoot argued that his clients acted in self-defense. He argued that the deceased was armed with a machete, which he raised to inflict injury to the men, but his attempt was thwarted by the preemptive strike by one of the accused. He further argued that the accused men were in fear of their lives and acted lawfully. The judge upheld the application and granted bail. So the matter is to be mentioned on May 2. So Clive Clark, otherwise called Ketty, a laborer of Troy, Trelawney, was killed shortly after 2 p.m. on Sunday, February 20. It is being alleged that he had traveled to his sister's house, where he and his two nephews got involved in a dispute over stolen chickens. What may I say about kitchen farm? A chicken farm, you know? Over stolen chickens.
Oh.
From the woman's coop. It reportedly escalated in a physical confrontation when Clark allegedly attacked his nephews with a machete and was hit on his head with a plank. Clark fell to the ground unconscious and was rushed to the Percy Junior Hospital in Manchester, where he later died while being treated. So the police were summoned, and upon arrival, both brothers were taken into custody in connection with their uncle's death. We say, law at work, wise man. Well, them say a self-defense and thing, they were acting preemptively. And thing. No, listen to that story, sis. I wonder how you look on screen and let me see if your internet start to look a bit better.
It's still choppy.
That favor like your inner wall art back of you. Blended. Prisoner suspect in triple murder. You hear this? Watch a style here. The police say one of 3 suspects in the brutal... And we soon come back to the FLA people. And remember, I am in no way, shape or form defending the FLA. We just try be fair and balanced in the discussion. Because the FLA... But we soon come to that. So the police say one of 3 suspects in the brutal slaying of an 11-year-old girl and their 19-year-old twin brothers in Irwin Heights, St. James on Wednesday evening is a man who is in custody. Let me read that again. The police say one of 3 suspects in the brutal slaying of an 11-year-old girl and their 19-year-old twin brothers in Irwin, St. James on Wednesday evening is a man who is in custody. We are not saying he is involved, but there are strong indications that he might be involved, said Assistant Commissioner of Police Clifford Chambers. Chambers, who heads the Area 1 Police Division, also said that the other 2 suspects were arrested shortly after the killings. It was quick, precise action by the police which led to the arrest of the 2, Chambers said. Now, Peter Gay Cook, I think I cooked that, and their twin brothers, Giovanni Stewart, were shot dead by a gunman who stormed the family house while their mother, Denise Kelly, was at a nearby house getting food for her dogs. The police report that 16 spent shells from 2 guns were found at the scene. Now on Friday, ACP Chambers explained that the police probe is indicating that the gun attack was gang-related. He said that one of the brothers was recently assaulted by members of a gang in the community after he resisted their attempts to recruit him. Oh yeah? Oh, so you try based on the report, you try to recruit me and me tell you no. And you guys, okay, alright, okay. He said that one of the brothers was we said that already. In January of this year, 16-year-old Chris J. Thompson was shot dead as he was walking to a shop in Irwin Heights. And the police are trying to establish if that killing was linked to Wednesday evening's murder of Thompson, who was a cousin of the murdered siblings. Okay. According to the police, Wednesday's murders were committed shortly after Kelly left the house about 7 p.m. When she heard several loud explosions sounding like gunshots, she rushed back home where she saw her 3 children in a bedroom suffering from gunshot wounds to their upper bodies. She retrieved her grandson, who was unearthed, from the bedroom and called the police. On their arrival, the police saw the 3 blooded, bullet-riddled bodies inside the bedroom. They were taken to a hospital where they were pronounced dead. Yeah. Set away. Christine Hewitt. Remember Christine Hewitt, Scotty?
Yeah,
talk show host. She used to come on Montague or what I show the name?
I never see.
I go that's Montague for true, you know. I think the late Kim Simon used to host Montague too, so that's why I been can. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. I remember Christine.
So you know she was murdered, right?
Yeah, been a while.
Yes, it's been a while. So Christine Hewitt murder trial is on the way. So the long-awaited trial for the murder of television personality Christine Hewitt started in the St. Catherine Circuit Court yesterday. On trial are Hewitt's widower, David Gordon, and his brother, Wordsworth Gordon, who are represented by attorney Michael Deans and Pierre Rogers. Now, the panel of 12 jurors who were selected yesterday are starting are to start hearing testimony. Well, were to start hearing testimony in the case today. They were addressed by the prosecution, which promised to show the men's guilt with the evidence at hand. Now, Gordon and his brother were arrested and charged with Hewitt's murder 3 years after her body was found in a burnt-out sport utility vehicle on the Mount Industry Main Road in rural St. Catherine on June 29, 2006. The body was identified by the wedding band that Gordon had placed on her finger a year and 4 months earlier. Gordon was 24 years old when he married the 42-year-old talk show host. How will you laugh?
Okay. No, the age gap, man, okay.
I'm in love with a girl nearly twice my age. Well, I've been there, so I know. You understand?
Really?
Yeah, man.
The Antiquita.
Good as you know, my conversation.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
When me at 17, Asnet at 30, man. I'm a girl.
Love
I'm
of
a
your
girl.
life.
I'm a girl. I don't know about that. You understand? But, so, whilst I never married to Asnet, I mean, this gentleman was 24 and Empress Hewitt was 42. Well, I say I could have.
What I'm looking for to hear is the motive behind it. Why?
Right. So I guess I don't know, as the matter is in front of the court. I know as much as you, which is nothing. You understand? So we are watching and see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Tenancy not spoil a dance.
Yeah, tenancy not spoil a dance. What's if you drink 2 Guinness? 2 men charged with murder of Clyde Taylor. So the St. Anne police have charged 2 men for the murder of former villa manager 65-year-old Clyde Taylor of Salem, Runaway in the parish. So they are Shaquille McIntosh, 22 years old, a houseman. What if you're a houseman, what you do?
I don't know what.
You look after your house.
Work on the villa property.
Okay. A houseman of Salem and Sheldon Folks, 32, a barber of Lewis District, both in St. Anne. Taylor, former manager of the Sunflower Villa in Salem, was reported missing on Sunday, February 27, who was last seen the previous night. So Taylor had left his home in Salem about 9 p.m. that night, driving his 2013 Nissan Note motor car. His body was discovered 4 days later in the trunk of his car with several chop wounds to the head in the Top Hill area of Runaway Bay. So one of the suspects was picked up prior to the discovery of the body and is believed to have cooperated with the police, which led to Taylor's body being found. Oh. So Senior Superintendent Dwight Powell, commander of the St. Anne Police Division, said the men were charged late Thursday and will appear in court at a later date. 24 Aya, Janon Star, Christine, at a gruesome demise. I remember when after the wedding, it was all the rage, and I mean, a lot of people had different perspective on it and name something. And, you know, people, after she died, you know, said she was warned, everyone was murdered. Boy, Kimani thinks that way. That story, I haven't really internalized it, but I kind of glanced over it earlier, because I think it broke earlier as well this evening. Outrage in Clarendon as 12-year-old girl was abducted and raped. So there's outrage in a Clarendon community after a 12-year-old girl now preparing for her primary exit profile PEP exams was abducted and allegedly raped yesterday. The child, who is a grade 6 student, and her brother were on their way home from school yesterday when a man offered them a ride. Jaja. Ah boy, when they reached their destination, he told Name Hotel to come out of the car and drove off with the girl. So apparently he told the brother to come out of the car.
The brother.
Right. Right. So the child was reportedly released late yesterday in a community near her home. She was taken to a hospital for treatment. It is sad, but God is good. The last thing we wanted to hear was that they found her dead. I just hope she will be able to take her upcoming PEP exams, a relative said. And the Clarendon police have confirmed the incident but said full details were not immediately available. Jaja. Ah, boy. I'm not sure if I live to see tomorrow.
Did you see the other story? I think it's in town where I think they say it's a pro-box that drove down and grabbed that little girl off the street.
No, I never
And
saw
the
that
taxi
one.
man saw what.
Oh, yes, I glimpsed it, but and they chased him.
Him down.
Right, I saw it, but I never actually read it. Well, what you know about, sorry, what you know about the story? Talk to me.
So the child was standing on the roadside and the car drove down and grabbed her, pulled her in and drive up. The taxi behind him saw what happened and started to chase. And well, the taxi said there was a high-speed chase, and eventually he just pushed the little girl out of the car.
Okay.
And drove away. They took her up and carried her to the station.
Big up to the taxi man there.
But anyway, they got the license plate.
Okay, that's good. Big up to the taxi man there. Anyway, you turn up my J. Give thanks. I appreciate it. I suppose that he probably will be awarded for gallantry sometime in the future.
Yeah, man.
Give thanks. So I appreciate that. The taxi driver and his passengers. Is that thing passengers are aboard the vehicle too?
Yes,
so
they
good.
were.
Jaja, why? It dirty tough, you know? It dirty tough bad. Yeah, so more than one person. No, well, in the taxi, more than one person was in the taxi. I don't know if more than one person was in the kidnapper's car. They say St. Thomas kidnapper strike again. Who said that, DeAndre?
I think it happened in Portland.
Oh, yeah? Are so much things we miss? So what you know about that too? What you know? But you have heard things since me make me not have it on screen, Jaja. You're full of info tonight.
No, me not share the full story, but I think that the same guy who did the kidnapping in the two.
You think so, or it has been confirmed?
Yeah, not confirmed. I think I read the article and I saw it in some place, and I glanced at it.
You saw it in some place. Okay.
Some other space. I think maybe a WhatsApp group or something like that. I could have teach them WhatsApp group.
Oh, maybe. Alright. Let me take a look off my screen. You know what I mean? Oh, it's in the news. Okay, DeAndre. Okay, give thanks. I must have missed it. Anne-Marie. Okay, Miss Allison. Good night. Thanks. Yeah, man, because the driver can't drive and push her out unless a front seat, you know. I don't know. Well, I can't ask money in a back seat, push her out, so we don't know. So, I don't know. But big up to the taxi driver and the passengers in that vehicle. You have many good taxi men out there. You understand? Don't get it twisted. No, last week, sis, we spoke about a woman who was found in a car dead, belonging to a member of the Jamaica Defense Force. Remember that story there?
Yeah.
Alright, so the soldier in question refuses to hand over firearm after a woman's body was found in his car. Police have charged a Jamaica Defense Force sergeant in whose car a prostitute was... I'm just reading the article. A prostitute was found dead 2 weeks ago. Theophilus Tracy was charged with failure to hand over his firearm for inspection after police say he reportedly refused to give his gun to lawmen for ballistic testing. Tracy was taken into custody when police began probing the killing of the lady on Caledonia Avenue, Kingston 5 on Saturday, February 26th. He has reportedly not been complying with police investigations. The St. Andrew Central Police had reported that about 4:20 a.m., the Crossroads Police responded to an assignment of a motor vehicle collision. On arrival of the team, a grey Honda Fit motor car was seen with a woman's body. Was protruding, some error in that, from the front passenger seat. So a woman's body was seen protruding, yeah. She had multiple gunshot wounds. She was taken to hospital where she was pronounced dead. The police said the body of the woman who, well, she has been identified, we'll get to that, but when this article was, the police said the body of the woman who is still unidentified appeared to be in its late 30s. is about 5 feet 2 inches tall and has a skin tone that shows evidence of bleaching. So she was clad in a black blouse, purple sweatpants, and one of her foot of a black and red Nike sneakers. Long story short, the soldier said him not give the body in gun. So this
But who was driving the
we don't know it. I don't know. Apparently the car was in
Okay.
an accident, so I don't know that part there. As Samba said earlier, he was making reference to the X6 situation where it is alleged that a licensed gun was used to do the shooting and these things. And you know, Samba said that if it's a licensed gun, because they would have retrieved, well, I'm assuming that they would have retrieved spent casing from that. So every licensed gun, as far as I know, has to have their ballistic signature recorded. So, you know, let me focus here, so. No, so the same girl now, sis, who they are referring to as a prostitute. So her colleagues apparently has been talking. So murdered sex worker was a pleasant person. Yeah? So I go on. A vendor who said he was a good friend of Crocs, that is how they call what they call her. The sex worker whose bullet-riddled body was found inside a Jamaica Defense Force sergeant's car on February 26 described her as a good girl. A good girl. The man said Crocs started working on Ripon Road in St. Andrew a little more than a year ago and was in her late 20s, okay? But Miss her, man, I'm a good little friend. She's very pleasant and always a whole her own with her two friends across the road from me. Some people know her as Crocs and others call her Dolly because she little and neat. You have a little, if you, a good girl, he said. The soldier, who has been identified as Theophilus Tracy, 43, has been charged with failing to hand over. We said that already. He made his first appearance in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court yesterday. His attorney, Peter Champini, indicated that his client's firearm was stolen.
When? Unsolved mystery.
His attorney, Peter Champini QC, indicated that his client's firearm was stolen. He is returned to court on April 7th. The vendor said that he had no idea that morning when he saw Crocs it would be the last time. I'm a little party, so she did stand up beside me in the morning some minutes to 3. Me a trouble her and I said, oh, she a what dainty, he said. The vendor said a regular customer of the Ripon Road ladies brought a beverage from him before leaving with Crocs. I watch the two of them going on the small car and drive off. Me never know me wanna see her back, he said. He said about 2 hours later, a man told him that there was a crime scene on nearby Caledonia Avenue and told him that he should drive a different route. I set a police come and asked if any way know the girl were dead. But them time then nobody not think say a Crocs. And in the evening some more police come back and said them here said she named Crocs. Me can't believe her now. Is her 2 little children them she a work to take care of, he said. Jaja. Wow. I wonder who thief Theophilus gun.
And was it the gun used in the murder?
Anybody with thief a man gun if he care back, cause police they want it. You understand? Yeah. Yeah.
Was the car stolen too?
No, soldier. No. Scotty. At the article, may I read what you are
Me
listening?
just ask.
Don't ask me nothing, man.
Me ask. I'm trying to connect the dots.
No, did he report that his firearm
That's
was stolen?
factor?
Did he report that his firearm
That
was
is going
stolen?
to be my next question.
Alright, me ask
And
you
was
already,
it
so
that
I'm gonna
particular
ask.
firearm that was used in the murder?
Then we don't know yet. You know, so then thief.
And if so, how long ago was the gun stolen?
Then me couldn't tell you neither.
And if he was not driving the car, who did it loan it to?
Then me don't know.
Like, he has a good lawyer though.
Well, he has the best, if you ask me.
So we will hear how it plays out.
Ah boy. Taxi driver found dead on Helsha Road. You remember I was making reference to a situation and I feel like it's a road rage thing? What's the matter? The St. Catherine South police are investigating the murder of a taxi operator who was found on the Helsha Main Road in Portmore on Thursday night. The taxi operator has been identified as 48-year-old Christopher Ellis of Old Harbour Glades in St. Catherine. Mr. Ellis was found near his Toyota Pro Box about 8:30 p.m. He had an injury to the head and the front of the vehicle was damaged. Now, was that vehicle in an accident? You follow me, Matt? May I ask? Because you did ask the question, I must ask you too. The police initially believed that Mr. Ellis died after being run over by a vehicle. However, it was later discovered that he suffered a bullet wound to the head. Reporters was informed that a bullet hole was found inside the vehicle and a spent casing meters away. So, I couldn't help but think when I read the article, was it an accident and a case of road rage? You see what I say?
Possible. Yeah.
So, well, they have a spent casing, so, let's see.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. So him no report the car stolen. Melody, then I couldn't tell you. I don't know. You understand? High drama in Mandeville as shooters engage police in firefight. There was high drama in the Manchester capital on Thursday afternoon as shooters engaged the police in a daring firefight along Main Street in the vicinity of Villa Plaza. Frantic people scampered to safety as gunshots rang out. Investigators say sometime after 3 p.m., the police responded to a tip that suspicious people were in a motor car. The police reportedly attempted to intercept the vehicle when they were fired on. It was just one barrage of gunfire that sounded like it was coming from everywhere, said one man who worked near the Villa Plaza in the vicinity of the shooting. He said a woman was among the shooters. Let me read that. He said a woman was among the shooters. It was one of what we read about in places like Kingston and Montague Bay, he said. You want to show about Kingston and Mobile, man, now will no punches.
Bobby, right?
Yeah.
He never expected to man.
Another man who said he witnessed the incident told reporters that it happened quickly. I was sitting in my van in the parking lot and I closed my eyes for a minute because I'm tired. And all I started hearing was shots fired. By the time I look up and see a car blaze gone and a bag of police in the area, said the eyewitness who requested anonymity. The shooters managed to flee in a motor vehicle. However, the police retrieved a number of spent shells from the scene. I am happy that nobody was injured. I mean, innocent bystanders and no police officers. You know what I mean? And about 3 o'clock, them time that I guess man, they flew them through that school picnic. You see me I say?
Mm-hmm.
Woman found suffering from gunshot wounds in St. Thomas. So the St. Thomas police are probing the circumstances leading to the discovery of a woman suffering from a gunshot wound to her head on Thursday. She is believed to be a 24-year-old Clarendon resident who was recently reported to have been abducted somewhere between her hometown and the Spanish town in St. Catherine. Oh. It is reported that she was found about 7 o'clock Thursday morning in the Woodburn area after she crawled to the house of a resident seeking help. Oh my. Upon inspection, it was discovered that she was in a battered state and had a gunshot wound to her head. Sure. Confirming the discovery, the St. Thomas police shared that she was assisted to a hospital in the corporate area where she was admitted. I like the person who wrote this article. They never said she was transported to X hospital. You understand? Her name is being withheld by the police pending further investigation.
Good.
Boy. So it sounds like them kidnap her and shoot her and leave her for dead. Or they thought she was dead. I don't know.
Or they thought she was dead already.
Right, that me I say. Man robbed and shot outside bank in Halfway Tree. A man was robbed and shot outside the Jakur bank at the Tropical Plaza in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. I think yesterday. The incident occurred about 9:45 a.m. The robbers escaped on a motorcycle with a bag containing money. The injured man who was shot in the face is in hospital. Wow. Customers were locked inside the bank as the police carried out their probe. Jaja. Imagine you got a bank with a local business and you all day mash up car, man come shoot man there. You see what I want? But I hope the gentleman will recover from his injuries. I don't know how bad it was, but he was shot in his face. I mean, that can never be a good thing, you understand? Okay. 2 shot and injured at Mineral Spa. So 2 shop operators have been hospitalized after being shot during an incident at the Salt River Mineral Spa in Clarendon on Monday night. According to the police, the couple who operate a shop at the popular attraction in southern Clarendon were at their place of business about 7:30 p.m. when a masked armed man attacked. They were shot in their lower body, after which they were transported to hospital and admitted in stable condition. Now, preliminary investigations indicate that the incident may have stemmed from a previous dispute with another shop owner at the facility. Oh. Zoe Morg, good night. Well, that is it. You see it?
I was wondering, when you said Mineral Spa, Salt River, I was wondering where. But I feel it's just the regular Salt River. Right.
I suppose. I don't know if you have a Mineral Spa now about a place, eh? You know, some look up, guess
the Mineral Spa and the Milk River?
Well, that is one. You know, they call it for a mineral these days, brother. Some I don't know, and that may I try to show you. You see it? Now, there was a quadruple shooting in Central Village throughout the course of the week, where the police shot and killed 4 males believed to be gangsters, thugs. So 16-year-old boy among 4 killed in Central Village police shootout. I mean, what's up? The videos are good, man. Give thanks, you know, Zora. I appreciate the support, man. We try, you know. We try, man. We try. Right, so a 16-year-old boy was among 4 people shot dead in a confrontation with the police in Central Village, St. Catherine in the Central Village, St. Catherine community of Windsor Heights in the week. The 16-year-old, he has been identified as DeAndre Channa, otherwise called Little D, a high school student of McGregor Gully, Mountain View Avenue in Kingston. The teen is said to be a top-tier member of the deadly Top Burger Gully gang and was a suspect in the February 16, 2022 murder of Clyde Taylor committed in East Kingston. The other deceased, Romari Brewster, otherwise called Mari, 24-year-old, of Burger Avenue in Rollington Town, Kingston 3. Patrick Brown, 24, also known as Welch, of Zambia District in Central Village. Nigel Adams, also called Chuku, 22 years old, of Sarah Street, Kingston 4. Now, the 4 men were fatally shot during an early morning operation in what the police say was a targeted operation. The police say 3 firearms were also seized. 1 Smith & Wesson 9mm pistol loaded with 4 9mm rounds, 1 Gershon Parabellum 9mm pistol fitted with a magazine containing 8 9mm rounds, and 1.45 pistol with a magazine containing 1.45 round. So the incident is being probed by the Inspectorate and Professional Oversight Bureau of the JCF and the Independent Commission of Investigation. Is it? No. The slain Central Village Quartet were on a revenge mission, according to a source. 3 men and a teenage boy who were killed in a reported firefight with the St. Catherine South Police in Central Village have been alleged to be gangsters who were wanted for various violent crimes. Now, acting on intelligence, the police swooped down on a dwelling about 2:30 a.m. in what Assistant Commissioner of Police Gary Griffiths, who leads Area 5, described as a targeted operation. With the 3 firearms, we said that already. So the youngest of the alleged assailant has been identified as 16-year-old DeAndre Channa, we said that already. Boom. Right, so the police say he's a high-ranking member of the Burger Gully gang and a suspect in the murder of a man committed. We said that already. Now, 21-year-old Romario Brewster of Rollington Town was also said to be a top member of the Burger Gully gang. He was out on bail on firearm and related charges. He's also a suspect in a murder committed in Kingston Eastern. Now, 22-year-old Nigel Adams, otherwise called Choco, of Sarah Street, was wanted for murder and shooting in the Kingston Central Division, while Patrick Brown, 24, was a person of interest in a recent shooting in Central Village. The quartet was believed to be planning to avenge the death of 33-year-old Upton Coleman, who was killed by assailants on February 23 in what was considered a reprisal killing. Coleman's killing, according to sources, was linked to the brutal killing on February 20 of 30-year-old Grace Kennedy salesperson Leona Keamy Salmon, a resident of the community whose body was found with multiple gunshot wounds. Her throat was slashed and her eye gouged. The police have since arrested and charged 31-year-old Saddam Morgan, a welder of Windsor Heights, for someone's murder. Now, sources say that the men had been seen in the community since last week and were plotting to kill persons believed to be responsible for the murder of a community don. We see them in the community, but everybody afraid. Them come in to make war and take revenge on the man them who killed the don, said one resident who requested not to be identified. I God wake me up when they shot them start fire. Me never know say a police until this morning. Now, according to residents, the community has been frozen with fear, with householders afraid to talk to the police. One woman told reporters that she was terrified when she heard the gunfire in the wee hours of the morning. I am ready to leave this area. My son is so afraid that we both cuddle up under the bed when we heard the shots. Right now, he's so shaken that he don't want to come outside to go to school, she said. Meanwhile, Griffiths said Greater Central Village continues to be a hotbed of crime. We won't relent in our pursuit of criminals to make Jamaica a safer place, he said. Now, Wednesday's gun find brings to 6 the number of firearms seized in Central Village in less than a month. Wow, it's a lot. Man gunned down outside Barber shop in Bagwa. Man was shot and killed. Me tired. Was shot and killed outside. Bomba at almost 10 o'clock. I'm going to reach when I stream it in a Scotty. A man was shot and killed outside a barber shop in Bagwalk, St. Catherine on Sunday night. The deceased has been identified as Samonis Gale, otherwise called Rambi, who lived in High Mountain District in Bagwalk. So it is reported at about 7:30 p.m. Gale was standing outside the barber shop along Church Road when he was approached by a gunman who shot him multiple times. His attacker fled the scene. The injured man was rushed to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Yeah. No, I have spoken before as per the situation that currently exists where board chairmen of school boards are elected by the member of parliament in the constituency. I hate the practice. Flush school boards of political activists, educators, plea. So days after the resumption of face-to-face classes, stakeholders in the education sector are calling for changes to the culture of political interference in the appointment of school boards. That concern, linked to the disruption of effective school management, lingers even with the passage last year of the Public Bodies Management and Accountability PBMA, which is Nomination, Selection and Appointment to Boards Regulations of 2021, which heralds sweeping changes to the selection process for oversight bodies. The latest call has come from Jamaica Teachers Association President Winston Smith and Linvern Wright, President of the Jamaica Association of Principals of Secondary Schools, against the backdrop of mounting worries over the learning loss caused by displacement during the coronavirus pandemic. At the same time, Education Minister Favour Williams conceded that a cleanup of school boards is needed to facilitate greater efficiency of schools management, noting that the National Council on Education, which has responsibility for board selection, has ceded control to members of parliament. politicians are select board chairmen and board members, MPs. So let me ask you a question. If an MP, knowing how we operate in Jamaica, if an MP are select board members, what do you think them board members they have to be? Not aligned to the political party there. You understand what I say? Can't see Scotty, right? Opposite. She have internet issues, bro, so she very flaky on screen. But see her there, if you make a night, see her there. You understand?
Hi, Peter.
So our internet GG tonight, so I don't know. See him? Alright, so I could continue. According to Wright, who is the principal of William Knibb Memorial High School, boards of management are often far less qualified than principal. I think that is something we have to look at if it is that we really want to ensure that we are getting to where we want, said Wright, who was speaking at a Gleaner Editors Forum on Wednesday. When you have a qualified person, having somebody who really, the best thing about them is that they are affiliated to either of the two parties. That is not something to move things in time of crisis. Agreed. Big up yourself. And them man don't know nothing about. Some of them man don't even go to school themselves, but then they're on school board. But we continue. Smith too said that there have been challenges with school boards, the process of selections, and the quality of leadership. He said school boards comprising members who understand education regulations often fare better in their performance. I mean, naturally, there are some institutions where boards are just obstructionists, the JTA president said. Smith said board exists to provide guidance to school leadership and act as intermediaries between the ministry and school administration. But some have resorted to micromanaging schools rather than providing administrative support. The board seems, in some instances, as if they want to run the institutions. We are saying lack of understanding of the processes is what gives rise to these kinds of things. So it's a matter of getting persons not aligned to any particular party, but get people who are truly interested and understanding of the process, said Smith, who is principal of the Golden Spring Primary School in St. Andrew. Additionally, so I'm a principal of Golden Spring, alright. By the time you're done, I'm going to be principal of a high school. You know, write it down. So the JTA president is currently principal of the Golden Spring Primary School. By the time him tenure done, he's a high school principal. Remember, I teach them, tell us, here, that's how it work. Additionally, but big up me progress, but JTA is a political organization itself. But that's the next story for you next time. Additionally, he said more education officers are needed to foster greater involvement and better supervision of school boards. Williams said the current structure is a relic of decades-old practices. In order to get a different result, we are going to have to change that, she said, referencing Minister Dr. Nigel Clark's push to revisit how boards of public bodies are selected. We need similar thinking, a similar work in the education sector. It is going to be up to us to take it on to make these changes. Williams said new thinking is needed as well as new framework for updated regulations. Long story short, it should never have begun in the first place, where Member of Parliament select board chairmen and board members. It was always a bad idea. And whilst you have some principals who need close supervision, these boards interfere, and oftentimes the board members are not off with the education regulations, the code of ethics, and how schools actually operate. So because they are aligned to this man or that woman, they take them and put on board. Who are we trying to help here? Ultimately, we're students. DNJ, the Commissioner of Police, was once the head of the Jamaica Defence Force, sir. So irrespective of how you feel about that. So yes, he was security advisor to the Prime Minister. He was the head of the Jamaica Defence Force. It's not like him don't know about security. So saying that now still, me not think it really and truly fully fair across the board. It's not like it's an under-security advisor and don't know about security. The man used to govern the military. That has to count for something, you know. Whichever way we feel about it, we can't discredit that. It's not like it's a regular man who just take up off the street and then become commissioner. You see? So I don't know. So we have to bear that in mind. So whilst we feel certain way about a thing, we still have to, you know what I mean, put everything into context.
If he was qualified for the job and got it fairly.
But yeah, I don't know still. But I'm saying kind of military business different from police business. But it's a military business and police business about security.
It's still security.
And the rule of law.
In my humble opinion.
And the rule of law. DeAndre, just a question. So whilst police business and soldier business are different business, ultimately, aren't they both
security business
treating with securing the country? Right. So back to school board. Politicians should not be appointing board chairs and board members. It's a very vexed issue. I have spoken to this many times in the past.
I'm in agreement.
You understand? And thing. Pure friend thing them deal with. Well, that may be a thing, but I think as far as I know, the police services, not the police, the police services commission, are the who appointed the commissioner? I think it's the police services commission. I think so, you know. You understand? So I don't know, you understand? If it wasn't for a JDF, JSAF would be worse. And military business is about force, not about rules. Military business is about force, not about rules. But which institution is governed by more rules than the military? I don't understand. Well, I mean, that's not what we come to talk about tonight still. We talk about that one next time when one story related to that come up. You understand? Auntie. Meat prices to spike. Gas prices are rise and will continue to rise. As
Yeah, grow color low, people.
yeah, grow color low.
You want them to buy?
Yeah, man, I support my friend them. No, the Prime Minister. DeAndre. Bro, low emotions and speak facts. Prime Minister not appoint a commissioner of police, brother. So if you feel like say the Prime Minister have something to do with it, that different than say the Prime Minister appointing. No Prime Minister appoints a commissioner of police. Those are the facts. So I can stick with the facts. And forget the source and the hearsay and how me feel. Those are not the facts. The Police Services Commission appoints the Commissioner of Police, not the Prime Minister. So don't do that. You understand? We have a tendency of saying some things sometimes because we can't say. And I don't think that is fair. If we are going to speak about how we feel about something, let us speak using the facts that exist and not our feelings, our opinions, our biases. Make we treat with the facts. Commissioner of Police are appointed by the Police Services Commission. It's a process. Interviews are done. Applications are submitted. Let us treat with the facts. Just like you, I love my country. You understand? But if we are treat with the facts, let us not deviate from said facts. Yes. So to get up and say the payment, that is not true. That cannot be true. Craig Fisher then, that is a different story now. So fine, I will probably concede to you saying based on the recommendation of the Prime Minister, and then again, I can't say that either. Because I don't know say I saw that work. You understand? I don't know that the Prime Minister recommend nobody to become Commissioner of Police. That's not how it works as far as I know. Treating with the facts. So if we're going to treat with the facts, let us treat with the facts. Me not entertain that something there. Me not, Garnell, I do not know. I don't know. I cannot speak to that. You understand? He may or he may not. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that the citizens need to vote for a commissioner and a prosecutor. You may not like that idea, no? Because when we vote with agendas and biases again. And that may lead us into problems. But I hear you. But I just want to get it out there. Because I don't want it to be said here that the Prime Minister, youths are watching on. If we're going to try to teach them, we have to teach them right. The Police Services Commission appoints the Commissioner of Police, not the Prime Minister. Facts we are dealing with. Irrespective of how we feel about it. But let's move on. Scotty, no entertain the conversation. You understand? I saw the comment, but sometimes I don't know about that. Which country the people vote for the commissioner? That's a good question. We have taxes, we should have a part too. Not because we are entitled to something that means that we have to be involved in IT, bro. And this is what I'm saying. Just like how we select MPs. We select MPs based on biases. So we're going to select a commissioner based on biases again. And that may not be in the best interest of the country. That is the point that I am trying to make. You see? That is the point I am trying to make, As human beings, we are innately biased. All of us have our preferences and our biases. And many times in Jamaica, we don't vote on the policies. We vote on preferences and popularity and likability. And I am suggesting now that sometimes, I know everything we ask God for we get for a reason. That's all. Right. We'll put it out there. We vote for the, and everything we ask in give way. It's a fair reason. It's fair reason, Scotty. If we did forget everything we asked for, we didn't get is a reason why we don't get it. You understand? It is always good. Alright, just like, in opposition, a political party have the grandest ideas. And them have the solutions to every problem. And the moment they're elected as government, it's like, I never them did the opposition with all of the solutions. What the solutions them for the problem. So it is always easy to be on the outside looking in and talk. Sometimes the reality and the ground is totally different. Just like as an educator, when I hear people say something sometime about the school system and teachers and the whole education system. Like me, I say then, you can't go and talk, you don't even know what a clock is strike. You understand what I say? So we just have to be careful. Being able to say a thing no means that we have to say it. That is what I have learned. You understand? Just like how being able to make a video, me not have to make it. Many things me just read and move on. Because me no need to make nothing. It's just a thing. You understand? Sometimes it is a blessing when we don't get what we ask. I can assure you that 70% of Jamaicans would vote for Mr. Adams. Well, you would probably be surprised too, It could be more or it could be less. You understand? So, understand that. So we can never be sure until the vote is done. No, speaking, I meet price today. We show me there, because I come here for a mission, and that me a focus on today. When I come here for a certain mission, we focus on the mission. See? Alright. So, gas prices are increasing. Electricity will increase because electricity is generated primarily using crude products in Jamaica. So, that is a thing. Food prices will increase as electricity increases. So, there will be spin-off and spin-off and spin-off. Inflation will probably get higher.
Everything will increase. Right.
And we haven't begun recovering from COVID, and now we're treating with the fallout of the UK-Russian situation. Now, there's a couple of ways of looking at it. The Services Commission, made as an insider, this commissioner. See? In times of crisis, there are also opportunities. See? As I've always said, chaos is a ladder. And you use ladder to elevate yourself. So, one, we can't treat with the fallout from the Russian-Ukraine situation. We can't solve the problem there. unfortunately, we will have to treat with it as it comes, sadly. See, local agriculture projects are needed. Boy, I have been singing that song for a long time. See, gas prices is increasing. For the people who drive, we have to buy gas. Then, whilst we have to buy gas, there is opportunity in gas price raising. FESCO is a listed company and they trade on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. So if gas prices are going to raise, it means a FESCO is likely to make some money. So, are we going to complain? Are we going to seek out opportunities? Buy some shares in a FESCO. Just a suggestion. I am not a stock advisor. I am not trained. I am just saying. Meat price are going to raise. The company on the stock exchange that sells meat is Jamaica Broilers. If meat price are going to raise, it means that Jamaica Broilers are going to make some money. Some more money. So probably we can buy some stocks in a Jamaica Broilers. Zane. Prices are going to raise, separate, distribute many different things and Westinco, so them stand to make some more money. So, are we going to complain? Are we going to seek opportunities? There are certain things we cannot control over, but sometimes crisis, there are opportunities. Just suggesting. Zane, again, goods and things, Grace Kennedy, there are many opportunities there. I'm just saying. So whilst we hope that the Ukraine situation, and even if the Ukraine situation ends tomorrow, the fallout will continue for a while. Zane, and we just have to try as best as possible to seek opportunities in the times of crisis. Teach them we are too dependent on gas. We need to go into alternative sources. Well, we have Wicton, Craig. You have Sun Valley Farms. It's a solar farm in, I think, St. Elizabeth. Wicton generates electricity using wind turbines. Many Jamaicans are also moving to solar and thing. Right, so gas prices are going to go up again. Wicton may start make some more money. I say Wicton acquire flash sales will sell electric vehicles. I think that was announced. So then again, there's potential for Wicton to make some money. Wicton is a publicly traded company. So there, as I said, there are opportunities. See? Yeah. I don't know. But I agree with you for alternative source of energy is just these things are expensive presently. I think also the finance minister said that importation of electric cars, I think it's 100 per year. So there's a quota because he's saying that the government makes billions of dollars from importation of cars yearly. So you can't really eat out that one will be some. So we'll look at that as well and them something. So that means my school fees will increase because of increased light bills then. Possibly. I suppose inflation is a thing, and there are some things that we as a country have no control over, unfortunately. Should we be better prepared? Sure, Zane, but I guess everything is a lesson and a blessing. So I'm just saying there are opportunities if you know where to look and how to look for it. So speak to your financial your stock advisor and see if you can benefit from some of the unfortunate situations. It's just so a thing go. You understand what I'm saying? That is my recommendation to you, Zane and T.
I hope my stock advisor is taking this recommendation.
Who is your stock advisor?
And everything could be good for that.
Okay. Again, I am not licensed as a stock advisor. I'm learning the market. And I am just making suggestions. Yeah, man. I think, because like FESCO, they will eventually start building out charging stations across the country and things as a, future energy services limited and then something there, thing. So, yeah, man, we're getting there, but we're getting there slowly and thing. I think also, based on the research, I think JPA will be listing soon. JP's IPO is around the corner. So you have been complaining about light bills. Then there's a chance to make some money for the company when you are complaining about from when. You understand? As opposed to with JPS, the government is selling giving up their stake in JPS by listing the company. So one of the things with government IPOs is that there are normally a lot of shares available, and that may not always augur well for trading upon listing because the demand won't be great if everybody get them share. Long so we're not getting enough investment class right now, but I have been taking making great strides in learning the market. I have lost money because when you don't know, you don't know. You hear some people say just buy and hold, buy and hold, buy and hold, buy and hold. The most important thing in investing is your goal. Your goal. There's nothing more important than your goal. And when you're picking a stock, you do the research on the company and you see what the company is at now and all of these things. And one looks over. But as a matter of fact, I've been spending money to learn. Let's put it that way. So I'm not giving no free advice. I'm going enough already since tonight. You can't pay me for that. You understand? There is possibilities in uncertain times. All right. So meat prices to spike as animal feed is set to increase on Monday. As the price of chicken, pig, goat, and cattle feed is set to increase on Monday, consumers are being warned to brace for movement in meat prices. Nutramix, one of Jamaica's premier manufacturers of animal feed, said its products will cost more as the conflict in Eastern Europe develops, coupled with the ongoing increase in agricultural commodities. Ukraine is a major supplier of animal feed, and Nutramix said it is witnessing historically high raw material costs which directly affect the price of feed. We will continue our efforts to explore every option to keep feed accessible and reasonable price. We are forced to adjust the prices of our feed, Nutramix said in a release and thing. And President of the Jamaica Agricultural Society, Lenworth Fullerton, said that though disappointed, he expected the price increase. You understand? And so on. You understand? So, right. Meat price, everything are going to increase, really. That is just a truth of the matter. You understand?
You see why we have to go feed the chicken them fly?
You can feed your chicken fly. I don't want no fly chicken.
I'm going to give you one-eyed chicken. I'm going to give you one-eyed chicken.
Right, Scotty, but you know of all the people
So
in
what
your life, the person who will tell you no the quickest is me. I don't want it. What do you mean?
No, as a matter of fact, I cook it for you. Curry chicken to you.
Yeah, your salt look better, you know.
Eh? No, you're not looking no better than my one. That look better? You have on your glasses?
You don't answer my phone?
Yeah, can check.
You know, I look a window down and say where you're there. You're there look better, brother. You can't tell me say. Scott, okay. You see chicken. No man, there was an article that we spoke about last week, Coach, where they said they're going to start rearing flies to feed chickens. So that's what you're talking about. Minimum wage needs to adjust. Yeah, it was raised the other day. I think me say somebody said at $12,000 it should end there. And things some I know. You see?
I think that's what the opposition said, right?
I think Julian Robinson said that.
Hello?
Yeah, man, but there. But you see, it's all well and good to say that, Selena Scotty. But remember, say, you have to make money to pay them, you know. Many companies never did make no money for the past 2 years. You understand? So, I don't know. Come on, fall good too, you know. You need a pressure cooker, brother. Laugh a little crocodile life that. Now, how Montague granted gun permits to 6 people with criminal traces. Now, let me say this. Many people are reacting to this like it is new. I have many instances when you're interviewing Damien Crawford. I don't really make the point of my duty to interview politicians, Sam. But, you know what I mean? From time to time, if opportunities present themselves, and I think it's something will benefit my viewers, then we'll look into it. But I don't go out seeking interviews with politicians. You understand? I mean, that is well known. But I mean, as I said, if opportunities presents themselves and I think it will be beneficial for my viewers, then fine. But we don't really politics up my thing neither, you know. You understand? We kind of stay away from politicians. You get what I say? Auntie. Alright. Montague, you disappear and come back 3 months' time in a different ministry. But Bogle, I wish I could disagree with that, but history is replete with evidences of same. But we'll get to that. No, I just want to point out something. I have made many references of this particular thing before. So whilst many people are thinking that this is new info, it is not. You understand? So, yeah. Interview. Hold on there. Yeah, man, but there are many other economists so we can interview if we look for interviews. Economist interview. You understand what I'm saying? That don't have any publicly stated political affiliation. So you saying that is still neither here nor there because there are many other economists out there. You see it? So yeah. Say for that the premise, then he's still a politician. Scotty. And as I said, I'm not averse to talking with Damien, and I'm just saying that I'm not actively go out go seek a conversation presently. You understand? Yes, sis. I don't know what just happened. Look well. See? It crashed, and then me I try answer, and nothing now go on. What I'll do, I'm gonna try sending a new link and see if that works. And as me I say, him is a politician. And I have rules of engagement with politicians, which is really and truly I don't really engage them. You understand? So, however, if an opportunity presents, and I keep on saying, but you know, pick up that, if an opportunity presents itself, and I think it is beneficial to my viewers in having a conversation with a politician, then by all means. However, at this point, I have no desire to seek out a politician for a conversation. So hope that is clear. Now, right, so having sort of thing. Because I would interview the Minister of National Security because I have some burning questions. There's no two ways about that. You see? No two ways about that, you know. But, you see? But if the opportunity presents itself, sure. Alright. Scotty, I don't know what the problem. I don't know. Yeah, you said that, but then I now see the notification for your join, so I don't know. I don't know what happened. Alright. So as I said before, this is not new info. I have seen articles related to this in the past. Hence I have been speaking. Even recently in the FLA conversation, I don't know. See, let me see if I can join the stream. Hello. Join. Alright, Scotty, it has an error starting interview session. Could not start the interview session. Please contact support if the problem continues. Another session is already active. Please try again after a minute. That may I get. So just give it a good time and try again. Zane? Alright. So Robert Montague knowingly granted gun licenses to a person with a criminal history while he was Jamaica's National Security Minister, the Integrity Commission has concluded in a damning report. Montague's... Alright, Scotty on there. I'm hear myself on my headphone. Montague's predecessor from the opposition People's National Party, Senator Peter Bunting, has also been named in the unfolding scandal. So the revelations are contained in a 245-page special investigation report on how the Firearm Licensing Authority gave gun permits to persons convicted of or charged with various criminal offences involving drugs, lottery scamming, and illegal possession of firearm. Prime Minister Andrew Holness will have, well, based on the article, him never something at the time. Montague never resigned at the time yet, but he has since resigned. Now, as a security minister from March 2016 to 2018, Montague was in charge of the FLA. Security, FLA falls under the security ministry. Put it away there. See? Right. So, legislation gives the minister the power to recommend permits, whether entirely of his own volition or on the recommendation of the review board. I don't like that. The Integrity Commission said the FLA board, which was appointed in 2016 after the Jamaica Labour Party won state power, acted with impropriety in the issuance and or grant of firearm users licenses to persons of questionable character during the period 2016 to 2018. That board was headed by Chairman Dennis Wright. The Integrity Commission's Director of Investigation, Kevin Stevenson, pointed to 6 instances in which Montague overruled the FLA and approved gun permits to persons with criminal traces whose applications were either denied or their licenses revoked. One of the cases involved a person who was charged with drug and gun offenses. His application for a firearm license was denied on March 27, 2012. Alright, you can try, but I don't think that will work, seeing that I have created a new link. So I create another link and email it to you and see. I want to get up and I'm afraid for sending your invite them, you know. Scott Heater. Link. New link. Paste. Alright, check your email and see. So I could continue now. Right. His application for a firearm license was denied on March 27, 2012 on the basis that he did not establish a need to be so armed. However, on August 9, 2016, Montague approved the man's application. In another case, Montague approved a license. Please work. No, not working. Not working. Alright, it not look like it's a plan for it. But then probably I forgot just end the stream and start afresh. Is it? So I don't know. So look like that's that for now. Alright, so yeah, in another case, Montague approved a license to a man who was convicted for numerous crimes involving illicit drugs, the use of counterfeit notes, as well as breaches of the Firearms Act. The man's license was revoked by the FLA on at least 2 occasions, but on August 30, 2016, Montague gave the green light. In December of 2016, Montague also granted a permit to a man who was implicated in an insurance fraud racket and whose application was denied by the FLA in August of 2015. Also in December of 2016, Montague granted a gun permit to a man who was arrested and charged for being in possession of personal information for United States citizens. The charges were later dropped. When news of this broke in 2018, Montague described the man as a national security asset. I remember very well that article. The Integrity Commission also said that the man is alleged to have been a gang member involved in lottery scamming and reportedly possessed an illegal firearm. His firearm license was revoked in September 2015, but was restored a year later upon Montague's recommendation. Montague admitted knowing the man, whom he said was from his St. Mary Western constituency, and who attended his campaign events. Questions on the basis for his approvals in February of 2018, Montague told the investigators that he made his decisions based on the information he received from his ministry, which included details on the files of the applicants. Montague also complained that ministerial discretion under the FLA Act was not defined. But the Director of Investigation said documents prepared by the FLA, as well as the application files of the persons who appealed, included information on their criminal backgrounds. It is the DI's opinion, or the Director of Investigation, I suppose, that the Honorable Robert Montague MP was aware of the criminal antecedents of applicants when he granted the appeal of FLA board decisions concerning certain firearm users license applications, reports said in reference to the Director of Investigation. Stevens said that despite the presence of certain structures to help the minister decide, adverse traces against the applicants remained. The structures include the law giving the minister discretionary powers to overrule the FLA and the use of a panel by the ministry to review appeals made to him. In one instance, charges against an applicant were dismissed. The Director of Investigation said he did not glean any evidence of subsequent investigations which were conducted on the instruction of Montague or further intelligence reports requested to substantiate his decision to grant the firearm user's license on appeal. In November of 2016, the then Office of the Contractor General opened an investigation into a single case but expanded the probe a year later to cover the period 2012 to 2018. The special report, which many of its pages marked draft, was tabled in the House of Representatives on Tuesday, but released to the media late Wednesday evening as concerns grew about the delay. The report comes amid public claims by the FLA boss Shane Dalling, who last month went public about questionable practices at the agency. Dalling's allegations were not new. However, has the Dennis Wright-led board resigned in 2017 amid allegations that licenses were being granted to unfit persons? The Integrity Commission said it has received allegations concerning acts of abuse of power and corruption committed by Dalling at the FLA. So let me read that again. Dalling's allegations were not new. However, as the Dennis Wright-led board resigned in 2017 amid allegations that licenses were being granted to unfit persons, the Integrity Commission said it has received allegations concerning acts of abuse of power and corruption committed by Dalling himself at the FLA. However, the report did not address those matters. I wonder why. It said allegations received on November 8, 2018 and January 11, 2019 about further acts of corruption and other matters which fall outside its remit are to be referred to the Financial Investigations Division and the major organized crime and anti-corruption agencies for investigation. Sounds serious. Now, I have said before that I am not sure that the Minister of National Security should be bestowed with the authority to grant a gun license after the FLA has done its investigation, adverse traces have been found, criminal records exist, And all of that is thrown out the window, and the Minister of National Security willy-nilly and arbitrarily grants a license to somebody because in instances of political affiliations and me know him and this and that and whatnot. I have said that publicly. I've spoken about this exact thing before. I just never know the detail of each case or the details of each case. So this is not nothing new. It may be new to some people because some of us not read and some of us not really always listen to teach them. Now, Montague, before him resign, responded. Gross misrepresentation. Montague hits back at Integrity Commission report. Robert Montague has chastised the Integrity Commission over its report, which stated that he knowingly granted gun licenses to persons with criminal history. With a criminal history. Sorry. The permit was granted while Montague served as Minister of National Security. So the Commission pointed 6 instances, we know all of that already. But Montague called the report a gross misrepresentation. I take note of the report tabled by the Integrity Commission in the House of Representatives concerning my then fulfillment of my statutory duty to assess and make a decision on the issuance of gun licenses to a range of people who appealed having been initially denied. The report is grossly misrepresentative and incomplete. It is unfortunate that prior to the tabling of the report, despite a suggestion made to me that I would be given the courtesy, I was not fully given the opportunity to respond to that which the Commission sought to assert as facts. Every Jamaican citizen, regardless of their station or status in society, deserves to be afforded the full courtesy of natural justice. Every citizen has a right to be heard or to respond to accusations. This due process was not fully afforded to me. The report also fails to take into consideration that all my actions concerning the reference issued were informed and guided by the recommendation of a panel of experts, which I had tasked with assisting in assessing appeals made to me in my capacity as Minister of Security. Despite that fact, the Integrity Commission report contained no adverse legal recommendations concerning me because I carried out my statutory functions. I have referred the report to my lawyers for further review. My lawyers. Anytime politicians feel like they're back against the wall, it's always my lawyers. My lawyers win, my lawyers. Okay. Minister Montague has been plagued with allegations of cronyism, allegations of corruption, ministries that he has had portfolio responsibilities for. So, I don't know. Robert Montague resigns from cabinet following damning FLA report. But it's not really a FLA report. Isn't it an Integrity Commission report? Robert Montague, nothing coming from this. For me 2 cents, what do you mean? What do you expect to come from it? What are your expectations? Robert Montague has resigned from the cabinet as minister without portfolio, capping a turbulent run as a minister of government over the past 6 years. The precise reasons are not known, but the resignation comes days after a damning Integrity Commission report on the Firearm Licensing Authority, FLA, cited him for unknowingly granting a firearm permit to 6 people with criminal traces while he was National Security Minister. A security minister from March 20th, we said that already. And we know that the legislation, the laws give the minister the power to recommend permits, whether entirely of his own volition or the recommendation of a review board. See? We know that. Am I in agreement with that? I don't think so, but we know that. So, yes, the law gives you that. However, based on the cases at hand, these people have criminal convictions, criminal traces, and based on the Integrity Commission's report, no investigation was done by the minister or his team that he said he assembled in these people as to whether or not they should be granted. So back we continue. Legislation gives the minister the power to recommend permits. Yeah, we said that already. Montague's predecessor from the opposition People's National Party, Senator Peter Bunting, has also been named. We'll soon get to him. In a statement Thursday, Montague slammed the report, as we said that already. Now, at 10:59 this evening, I think that was last night, Montague sent a WhatsApp broadcast message saying that within the last hour he gave Prime Minister Andrew Holness his resignation. Was he fired or did he resign? I guess we'll never know. The office of the Prime Minister later issued a 4-line statement confirming that Montague tendered his resignation with immediate effect. Minister Montague expressed that it was a privilege to have had the opportunity to serve at the highest levels in government, said a spokesperson in a statement without mentioning any specific reason. I am not certain whether Holness demanded the resignation. In his WhatsApp message, Montague said he has personal matters to deal with. I need the time and space to treat with these matters. I have to deal with them. I have retained a law firm, he added, referring to the Integrity Commission's report. In January, Holness stripped Montague, the chairman of the ruling Jamaica Labour Party, of the Transport and Mining Ministry, and reassigned him as a minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. That followed the 2021 scandal involving the Airports Authority of Jamaica, law-breaking investment in startup private equity First Rock Capital Holdings and the Clarendon Alumina Production Limited. Montague started as the National Security Minister in 2016 when the JLP won power, but soon came the controversy involving the botched procurement of used cars for the police and the scandal at the FLA licensing authority over the issuance of license to persons of questionable character. I mean, that has been in the public from 2018. The results of the FLA investigation were published this week. See? Montague is a member of Parliament for St. Mary Western, and his departure from the cabinet has long been demanded by factions of the JLP that believed he did not support Holness in the leadership race in 2013. There were even calls for him to be removed as chairman last year. Yeah. So that is that. In truth, Montague should have resigned from the news broke in 2018. As a matter of fact, from the car scandal, Montague should have resigned. From the airport authority situation, Montague should have resigned. From the aluminum partner situation, Montague should have resigned. There have been many opportunities for Mr. Montague to do the right thing. You understand? In this day and age, we shouldn't be demanding that politicians resign. When politicians run afoul of the rule of law and their character and stewardship are called into question, and there is proof as to negligence or cronyism or nepotism, the right thing to do is to step aside. But we don't have a culture of resignation in Jamaica. We have a culture of riding out the storm and not people 9-day wonder. Yeah? It has been 30 years since a political representative, MP, or minister of government has been convicted in Jamaica. The last one was in 1990, if memory serves me. 30 years. And there have been scandals upon scandals upon scandals upon scandals. And all have been happening. Some people pass off some things as youthful exuberance. Some people pass off some things as, me not even know what. Some people pass off some things as putting some man out in a pass if you eat little grass for a little while, then bringing them back. Some people reassign people in some place around one part and then bring them back. We don't have a culture of accountability in this country, and we need to develop it. You understand? I think it's J.G. Smith. I did a video about that a couple of time back, Scotty. It's on the channel. Just search for it. I do video about most of these things, in the past, You see it? Yeah, man. I did a video about that. I think the last politician convicted in Jamaica. I don't remember the title, but it is there. Search J.G. Smith, teach them. You'll probably find something. Let me see if I can find it. Alright, I'm never go watch it. I could have sent time when I say I can't read to you know. So, you understand? Yeah, man, J.G. Smith, only post-independent politician to be imprisoned. I did that video 2 years ago. 2,700 people watch it. You understand? Because this not nothing to do with Cartel or Tamil or Spice or Shensia or Skilly Bang or Skeng or whoever. We don't watch them sitting there. Not 4 days. Yeah, Bogle, then time. No, probably, no, after that. But, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. We do a video about Jamaica most scandal hit politician. That was a video about Philip Palwell. I mean, he's a politician with the most... Well, I guess Montague could have a rival in me now, you know, and I would have to go check again and do the maths because I don't even know. Yeah, man, we do a video about all of these things, man. We don't hold no punches, Scotty. You know that. We no business with the guy. But we could continue. All right. Now, so that a Montague situation. As I said... And let me say this, and this is again my opinion. The Prime Minister has resisted firing Montague in the past because he is the party's chairman, in my opinion, and a very powerful member in the party in terms of his stature and thing. Is it? So, that is my observation on that. Right. I could be wrong, but I could be very right. Especially with local government election, you know, in the year, I think they push it back to 1 year, but seeing like a COVID situation kind of, I don't even know. You understand? And thing. Right. But that is my view. Bunting implicated in FLA scandal. Opposition spokesman Peter Bunting has been implicated in the scandal rocking the firearm licensing authority after the interview. You don't know all of that. Zane? The special report report of an investigation into allegations concerning acts of impropriety, irregularity, and corruption in the instance of firearm permits to persons of questionable character covered 2012 to 2018. Bunting held the national security portfolio between 2012 and 2016 and was succeeded by Montague under a new administration up to 2018. And now, the report, which was tabled in all of that, highlighted 2 instances in which Bunting, on appeal, approved applicants whose firearm user license applications were denied by the FLA board. In one instance, the report said Bunting approved an applicant who was arrested and charged in the United States for offenses of trafficking cocaine, 4 counts of larceny and grand theft, and in the third degree. The applicant's firearm user's license was revoked in September of 2012 on the basis that he misrepresented himself to the FLA and could no longer be considered fit and proper to be issued with a firearm. But the report said the applicant's criminal record was expunged 2 years later. So this, okay, so let me see. Hold on there. I wonder if this is a person that I think about. Hey. Hold on, let me see this. I'm going to read the offenses them again. The persons was arrested and charged for offenses of drug trafficking, cocaine trafficking, 4 counts of larceny and grand theft and in the third degree. The applicant's firearm user's license was revoked on the basis that he misrepresented himself to the FLA and could no longer be considered fit and proper to be issued with a firearm. But the report said the applicant's criminal record was expunged. I could be wrong. 2 years later, in October of 2014, and by way of a letter, it was indicated that Mr. Peter Bunting, then Minister of National Security, granted the issuance of a firearm user license. The FLA board also subsequently withdrew the 2012 revocation because it was revoked, had become void, I guess because the criminal record had expunged. Okay. Where were they? In the second instance, the report said Bunting approved an applicant who was arrested and charged for the offense of indecent assault. Additionally, the report said it was further revealed that the applicant molested a little girl who was related to his wife. However, the matter was not reported to the police, resulting in no action taken against the applicant. His firearm user application was denied in January of 2012 on the basis that the applicant was interviewed and found unfit to be armed. It was subsequently approved on appeal in April of 2014. Bunting has said the granting of the firearm user license application was premised on the submissions of the applicants, the reports of the responsible officers, and all the material in the official documents submitted to him by the officials of the Ministry of National Security. Now, Bunting has responded. So, former Minister of National Security Peter Bunting is rejecting claims that he acted incorrectly in granting a firearm permits to persons with criminal traces. The issue was raised in a special report put out, we know that. However, Bunting is defending his tenure. I have noted certain media houses' coverage of the Integrity Commission special report of investigation on allegations concerning acts of impropriety, blah, 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 blah. The report listed a number of what appeared to be serious irregularities at the Firearm Licensing Authority, almost all of which happened after my time as a responsible minister. Yet, in their coverage, they have mentioned 2 appeals that happened during my term of office. This was 2 out of hundreds of cases that I would have reviewed during the 4 years I was Minister of National Security. One case involved a person who had been charged 10 years earlier with cocaine-related offenses while they were a student in Florida, and whose record was subsequently expunged. It is important to note that when a criminal record is expunged, the law requires that that person must be treated as if the crime had not occurred. There are very few exceptions to that rule, and none of them applied in this case. 2. The other case involved a person who had been accused of molesting his wife's relative. This was told to an investigator, but a formal report was never made to the police. Separately, that person also had 2 charges of assault from the 90s. One assault case was dismissed by the court, and no order was made by the judge on the other case. In this case, therefore, the person had never been convicted of a crime, but temperament. From my recollection, the Firearm Review Board had recommended that the licenses be granted or restored, and as minister, I acted either in accordance with their recommendations or more conservatively. The contents of the Integrity Commission reports do not support the headlines and other statements in the media coverage which relate to me, and the media coverage is, in my view, defamatory. I have therefore instructed my attorneys to examine the reports, and if they conclude that the coverage is defamatory, to bring legal proceedings against those media houses unless they fully retract their defamatory statements and issue a public apology. The PNP in a statement said that they are standing by Mr. Bunting because he did nothing wrong. So that's that. I suppose. Yes. Who I represent Bobby, him not say it. But him say him talk to him lawyers them. Auntie. Me don't know who represent Bunting now. You hear the name calling an article, miss? Then me don't. No. Yes, I remember I said this is 2012 to 2018, you know. So when I account for 2018 to 2022, you know. You understand? So I wonder what go on with another part around that time there. This is what go on. Integrity Commission says Meadows could be charged over misconduct. Former Deputy Chairman of the Firearm Licensing Authority, Dennis Meadows, could face charges for misconduct in a public office. breach of public trust, and a breach of the Corruption Prevention Act, the Integrity Commission has found. Director of Corruption Prosecutions at the Integrity Commission, Keisha Prince, is now reviewing the findings of the probe by her colleague Kevin Stevenson, the Director of Investigations. Meadows resigned from the FLA board in 2017. Stevenson led an extensive probe into allegations concerning acts of impropriety, irregular. Yeah, I want to know all of that. A special report on the investigation was to know all of that. In the report, Stevenson said he has referred the matter to Prince for her to determine whether Meadows' approval of a firearm license for a family member amounted to an explicit act of nepotism. The actions of Mr. Meadows in trying to assist a relative in this regard was an explicit act of nepotism which constitutes the common law offense of misconduct in public office and a breach of public trust, Stevens said. He said, he was satisfied that based on Section 2 of the Integrity Commissions Act, if the facts as found were to be proved on admissible evidence to the requisite criminal standard, an appropriate tribunal would find that Mr. Meadows had committed the offense of misconduct in public office. He revealed that Meadows approved a firearm user application for a family member who was convicted in the United States of attempted possession with intent to distribute cocaine. The Director of Investigations argued that as a public servant, Meadows advanced a private interest which resulted in a benefit to his family member. In this respect, his actions contravened the principles of integrity and good governance, the investigations boss said. The Director of Investigations has also pointed to what he described as a conflict of interest between Meadows and an applicant referred to as Person X5. At a press conference in February, Shane Dalling, the Chief Executive Officer of the FLA, raised grave concern about Meadows' conduct as a director. In a report on February 16, the Gleaner reported on February 16 that Clint Rennie, the brother-in-law of Meadows, was among more than 200 people of questionable character reportedly granted gun licenses by the FLA. In the case of Rennie, documents seen by the Gleaner showed that he was convicted for possession of cocaine and his application was denied in August of 2015 on the basis that he failed to disclose his criminal conviction. Without submitting an application for appeal or making a new application, he was granted a license in June of 2016, 3 months after Meadows joined the FLA board. The license was revoked in 2020. Meadows confirmed to the Gleaner that he was part of the board that approved Rennie's license, but said that he declared at the time that he was related to him. He denied allegations made by Dalling, who raised concerns about his conduct as FLA director, calling the CEO's utterances incendiary and defamatory. Yes. How far back invested? 2012, Peter. For this report, it's a period 2012 to 2018. So let us see. You understand? So. Now, there was a little brouhaha in Parliament as the Minister of National Security and Senator clashed over gun permits for 12-year-olds. So there was an intense exchange on Wednesday's sitting of the Joint Select Committee of Parliament as Government Senator Shireen Golding Campbell supported a proposal for the Firearms Licensing Authority to issue gun permits to minors for specific activities. The committee, which is reviewing the Firearms Prohibition, Restrictions and Regulations Act of 2022, was examining a submission from the Jamaica Rifle Association. The association has proposed to lower from 16 to 12 years the age limit for someone being granted permission to legally use a firearm. On the actual authorization, dependent on the activity, discipline or firearm, the association wants to lower the limit to be established in policy as follows. Air guns, age 12. Shotguns, 20 gauge, age 12. Shotguns, 12 gauge, age 14. .22 LR rifle, age 14. And pistols and rifle, age 14. So the association argued that at the international level, like the Olympics, competitors in shooting sports are very advanced at the age of 16 while Jamaican competitors are still at the beginner stage. Additionally, it argued that the current authorization limits use to only shotguns and air rifles. Minors of age 12 do participate internationally using the .22 LR caliber rifles, air pistols and handguns. A minor being a member of a Jamaica Combined Cadet Force could be exposed to using the .22 LR rifles below the age of 16, it argues. At this point, Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang, who chairs the committee, suggested that the matter be thoroughly reviewed, but insisted he would not entertain the idea of a minor being allowed to use a .22 LR rifle. Golding Campbell, who is an attorney at law, agreed, declaring that her sons were involved in recreation and the cadet. She also maintained that gun licenses are now issued to minors. She also maintained, okay, can someone help me to understand what is the current policy position under the law? Because the Firearms Licensing Authority is issuing licenses to 12 years old, she said. But Chang insisted that firearm licenses are not issued to anyone under the age of 12. If it is so, something went wrong somewhere in the system, he said. The system again. I think it is for competition and sports purposes, though, Neeks. I don't think it is to carry around a firearm. It is for you to be able to handle a weapon in competition and practice. And on the range, I suppose. So I don't think it's to keep and carry a concealed weapon for a 12-year-old. FLA don't know them left foot from them right foot, bro. Real cartoons. I wouldn't disagree with you on that, you know. I hope that these reports are a starting point in them trying to fix the issues that exist and the loopholes and potholes and all of the holes them. You see it? And them things there. Because, boy, may I tell you, again, we go back to political appointments and boards. Again, we go back to one man having too much authority. You understand? There should be checks and balance in the system and feel safe. And I don't think that certain power should reside in only one man's hand. Recipe for disaster. World War II bomb discovered in Manchester. Residents' swift action commended. A World War II bomb was on Tuesday found by a group of men in newly closed in Mandeville, Manchester, during the excavation of a fish pond. Commanding officer of the Manchester Police, Superintendent Lloyd Darby, said the bomb was discovered about 1 p.m. and the police later alerted. He said members of the Jamaica Defence Force were subsequently called in by the police, who retrieved the bomb with the intention to have it detonated in Vernham Field in Clarendon. Darby told reporters that it is yet to be determined how the bomb, which was seemingly there for decades and buried very deep, got to the location. However, he said the men who found the bomb ought to be commended for their awareness and interest in public safety. These things seem to have a long-term life, and so it was handled very carefully. Not because it is old, it means it can't go off. It may not go off with the same power as when it was new, but it could still do damage, he said. Now, Darby added that based on information from the JDF experts, even in its current state, the bomb posed a risk. We are grateful that nothing happened. So I think the bomb was detonated by members of the JDF. Yeah, DNJ, World War II. How it got here, I don't know. But I think that Vernham Field was used as a base by the United States during the World War II situation or not. So I don't know if, I think, somebody correct me because I don't want to spread wrong information. I think, I could be wrong, that Vernham Field was used as a base for US aircrafts in World War II. If it's not US, it's British here. What I told them, I don't know. But I think so. Let me see. Vernham Field, World War II. Yeah, man. I mean, Vernham Field is a former World War II United States Army Air Force airfield located in Clarendon. Bam, bam, bam. Right. So I don't know if one of these bombs fell from a plane during those times that landed or took off from Vernon Field. That would be my suggestion. Would like an answer to my question. Which question? Teach, how can a licensed firearm holder be charged? Okay, so me answer that earlier, Peter. As a licensed firearm holder, there are rules and guidelines how you treat with your weapon. If for any reason you use your weapon in contraventions of the established rules and guidelines, it is then deemed as an illegal weapon. The exact details of that I cannot furnish you with presently, but as an overview, if you use a licensed firearm to commit a robbery, it is deemed as an illegal weapon. You understand? Yeah, man. The British government, then the US. Well, I don't know if the British use it, but I know the US used it as an air base during World War II. So, if I was to speculate, which I tend not to do, I would suggest that it is related to that situation. So yeah, I'm happy that the men found it and it was safely detonated. Yes. You know, I'm really tired. I have quite a few more things to go to. And Scotty not even have to help me, Rasta Judge. Jaja. Yeah, man. Peeps, my audio sound different than in the past? Just let me know. Is it any clearer, any richer, any worse? I don't know. I want to pay attention to them things when you just listen. You see, I think it sound nicer still. But I could be biased. The FLA will always be the FLA. 100 years from now. Trust me. You know, I don't want just upon that guy feel. I hope you're wrong, you know, bro. For the benefit of everybody, I hope you're wrong. If you fire illegal firearm at a dance and it becomes an illegal weapon, right? A gun salute something ain't a problem. You see it? So, as I say, I don't know the exact, all the instances in which it is deemed as an illegal weapon, but I know if you contravene the guidelines and recommendation, then ain't a problem. For instance, if you use your gun to hit a person, you can get charged as an illegal weapon. They can find out everything about that after they diagnose it, sir. I'm not sure what Peter respond to. No, like the man them charge because him have 2 extra bullets. Them charge him for illegal possession of ammunition. A firearm then charge him for the Andre. I remember, I showed you the story earlier though. I said make it find. Let me see. Illegal, let me see. Manager has been charged. No, illegal possession of ammunition, DeAndre, not firearm. Illegal possession of ammunition I'm charging for. So Peter, he had 2 more rounds than he is allowed to carry. And they charge him for illegal possession of ammunition. It's a licensed firearm holder. Oh, the bomb. Okay. Boy, I hope so there, Garfield, for the benefit of the country, I really hope so. I tell you the truth. No degree, no problem. Recruitment breaches flagged at TPDCo. Staffer with 3 CXCs and 1 GCE gets job requiring a master. Me not have a problem with nobody getting job, you know. See? But you go to school, pay school fees, struggle. Probably sometimes student loan kill you. You borrow some money, you beg some money, you hustle. You get your degree and your masters. And you go apply for the job and you can't get it. Because you don't know nobody and nobody don't know you. But a man now where have big up CXCs, but somebody have them masters and then they apply for the job and then can't get it. And you have 3 CXC and 1 GC. Not even a first degree, you know. I don't even try to get a first degree, you know. And then now, you get a job where a man spend how much years at school to get. Can't fear, brother. The tourism product development company has been castigated for the lack of transparency in its employment practices and breaches of its own human resource management policy. Attorney General Pamela Monroe Ellis, who conducted a project management and governance arrangements audit of the company, flagged executives who have been recruited without the requisite minimum qualifications. For example, TPDCo's Destination Assurance Manager for Kingston was employed on June 1, 2020 with a basic pay of $3,168,053 and traveling allowance of $1,697,148. Traveling, you know? But the officer only has 3 C6 and a GCE pass, while holding a position that requires a minimum qualification of a master's degree in tourism. Yeah, man, Black Mamba, I know that, man. I know that 100%, man. I know. The Auditor General was subsequently told that the officer has now been enrolled in a bachelor's program. However, this would still not allow the officer to meet the minimum required qualification because the minimum is a master's in tourism. The Destination Assurance Managers for Falmouth, the South Coast, and Portland and St. Thomas were all being paid basic salaries of more than $3 million in addition to traveling of more than $1 million do not have the required qualification of a master's degree. All 3 officers have a bachelor's degree. Well, first degree you give and take, but 3 CXC and 1 GC rough when a man spend much years and money for go to college. You understand? However, the assurance manager for St. Thomas and Portland subsequently obtained a master's degree in management studies. Kudos to them, even though they should not have been employed at the time that they were. So the Chief Information Officer, who has been employed to TPDCo since 2005, is now being paid more than $3 million in basic, in addition to a traveling allowance of $1.6 million. However, the officer does not have a bachelor's degree for the post, which requires a master's degree. Further, the budget officer, the project accounting officer, and the operations manager for attractions have all fallen short of the qualification requirements for their respective jobs. In a report tabled in Parliament on Tuesday, the Auditor General said her department found no evidence that TPDCo engaged a transparent process for the selection of 11 of 24 executive level staff, including senior positions such as the then executive director, contrary to the company's own human resource management and development policy. Monroe Ellis said that TPDCo engaged 8 employees for substantive positions, including 5 executive level staff, with annual emoluments totaling $31.3 million, who did not possess the required minimum education qualification. In a recommendation, the Auditor General said that TPDCo must immediately take steps to ensure compliance with its human resource policy and best practices. Outlining other breaches, the Auditor General reported that the then Executive Director was engaged on a contract and interviewed for the job. However, there was no evidence that the post was advertised. The Director of Product Development and Community Tourism was recruited on a fixed-term contract and was interviewed, but the Auditor General could not find any evidence that it was advertised. An acting director of project was hired on a fixed-term contract, but there was no evidence that the officer was interviewed or the job was advertised internally. The Director of Corporate Services was employed full-time, but there is no evidence that the officer was interviewed for the position or that the job was advertised. There is no evidence to show that the Director of Product, Quality and Training, and Executive Tourism Training Manager, the Technical Services Manager, the Company's Secretary, and the Chief Information Officer were interviewed for their jobs and that the positions were advertised among staff. While the Director of Public Procurement, who is on a fixed-term contract, was interviewed for the job, there is no evidence that the post was advertised. TPDCo recruited a financial controller on a fixed-term contract, but there is no evidence that the officer was interviewed or that the post was advertised. The Human Resource Management and Development Policy Manual for TPDCo states selective use of psychometric evaluations, simulation assessments, and other appropriate testing, as well as panel interview, may be used to search for the best available talent. And then something there. I don't think so, go on, brother. Huh? Danville Walker breach authority in approving scrap metal exports. After a lengthy probe, the Integrity Commissioner has concluded that former Commissioner of Jamaica Customs, Danville Walker, was not acting within his powers when he allowed 15 traders to export scrap metal during a ban imposed by the government more than a decade ago. It's a long time. The investigation was initiated by the now defunct Office of the Contractor General and completed by the Integrity Commission, its successor. On August 29, 2011, the Cabinet of Jamaica granted approval to ban the exportation of scrap metal by way of ministerial prohibition order dated August 31st, 2021. The ban took effect on September 16, 2011. In a report tabled in Parliament on Tuesday but released to the media on Wednesday night, Director of Investigation at the Integrity Commission, Kevin Stevenson, recommended that the findings of the investigation be referred to Keisha Prince, the Director of Corruption. He has asked Prince to consider several provisions in the law to determine if any exporter or public officer contravened the statute. The Director of Investigations accused Walker of not acting within his power when he allegedly verbally authorized officers of the scrap metal unit of the Jamaica Customs to allow the exporters to export scrap metal without the requisite export licenses from the Trade Board Limited and Jampro. Stevenson concluded in his report that none of the 15 scrap metal exporters named in the October 11, 2011 letter written by Walker were legitimately exempted from the ban by then Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce or the government. The Director of Investigation also reported that Jamaica Customs, under the leadership of Walker, approved and facilitated the shipment of approximately 122 containers of scrap metal on behalf of approximately 11 entities while the ban was in place. This, he said, was in violation of the Trade Scrap Metal Prohibition of Dealing Order of 2011 and some other things. Stevenson asserted that Dr. Christopher Tufton and Reginald Budan, then Minister and Permanent Secretary, respectively, of the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, did not facilitate or authorize Walker to allow the 11 scrap metal exporter or their agent export privileges. Budan had reportedly indicated that the Jamaica Railway Corporation and Crown Packaging Jamaica Limited were exempted by authority granted under the ministerial prohibition. However, Stevens said he did not see any documentary evidence to support a conclusion that the entities were legally exempted from the ban. More me not last you know, me know no tired and me tired too. You understand? Me there from 8 o'clock, 3 hours that now. Tired. It is a show you say the rule of law in Jamaica is not the rule of law in Jamaica. Because the rules seemingly only apply to some people. You understand? Especially people of repute, people of social, economic background and status and class and color. You understand? Yeah, man. Someone didn't get their cut. Or someone got, never mind. Maybe not. Maybe it was just in the order to show up and then them do them investigation. So probably not nothing to do with no cut. Is it? Yeah. There's a ban. The government, the Ministry of Industry and Commerce, led by Christoph Dunn at the time, issued a ban against exporting scrap metal. 11 importers were given an exemption by head of customs to export when the government said no exportation of it. In short, that is what happened. Why were these 11 people given the opportunity to export when there's a ban? Prosecutor seeks 8-year prison sentence for Jakur. Jakur will know his fate on March 22 when there will be a verdict in his trial that began Tuesday, March 8 in the Netherlands. The prosecutor accused the singer of a premeditated act and asked the court to convict the 43-year-old singer of attempted murder. During his summation, the prosecutor recommended that the artist be put away for 8 years and credited for time served. During the closing statement, the prosecutor presented damning evidence that reportedly showed Jakur attempted to lie to establish his claim of self-defense. Although it emerged that the CCTV footage of the incident is inconclusive, the prosecutor said that Jakur's claim of self-defense is unbelievable. The prosecutor pointed out that Jakur gave an incorrect version of the events when he told the police that the victim pulled a knife out of his right pocket. The victim is left-handed and the suspect did not know this. But not because you're left-handed means you can't pull knife out of your right pocket. Me right-handed and me can pull knife out of my left pocket. You understand? Then me don't know. But me just say still. You understand? Then, but alright. We could just go and talk. Say. Me just say. I don't mean I defend nobody or pick no side. Me just say. I am just saying. You understand what I'm saying? That I'm just saying? Just say. Alright, we'll go continue. You sure with it? Yes, the victim is left-handed and the suspect did not know this, the prosecutor argued. Now, seeking to establish premeditation, the prosecutor said that the suspect picked up a knife before the meeting with the victim, not to protect himself for wearing an expensive watch. Voice messages that Jakur sent to the victim may also prove to be crucial and compelling in the trial. In the closing statement, the prosecutor sought to establish that Jakur deliberately sought confrontation. This was reportedly shown by voice messages that Jakur reportedly sent to the victim and people the suspect knows. One of the messages to the victim reportedly read, "The last time you will live to this man thing." The prosecutor also presented evidence from witnesses who saw the alleged attack. According to a witness, the suspect, Jakur, allegedly said just before the incident, "This is the nigger I have to kill," and then made a stabbing motion. The witness did not see a knife, but he saw the victim clutch his stomach. Another witness also saw the stabbing motion of the suspect, but did not see a knife, the prosecutor said. Mr. Somebody said Behind These Prison Wall Part 2 coming soon. Fun fact, did you know that song was written by Dwayne Stevenson? Yes, you're welcome. Well, I guess some people probably watched that interview. That was one of my earlier interviews. Probably an interview that I will probably redo sometime in the future. You understand? Dwayne one of my singers. You see? When them man they sing, I feel like I can't sing. And between me and you, I cannot sing. You see it? Yes. Jakur situation we watch just like everybody else. We're making no pronouncement or predictions. We have heard what the prosecution has to say. I suppose that the defense will have their day in court as well. I don't know. Or they did when Jakur claimed self-defense. I don't know. But we watch and see apparently they said that his fate will be known on March 22nd. That is not far away. So the prosecution has suggested 8 years. And credit for time served. So we'll see. Jakur said he was defending himself as he was attacked. I don't know. The prosecutor said them have them receipts. Because them have voice notes, voice messages and text messages and witnesses and these things. Zane, having no legal training, you understand? Based on the prosecutor's presentation, it look away. When you give Merciless an interview, I want to tell you, Merciless interview the biggest interview for my channel in the family. Me interview Merciless one night, when I go for interview him one evening, and I end up interviewing him in the night. Because first when I went there to wait on Leonard, I had to wait a long time. Then when Leonard got there, them did play some of music around one part, so interview couldn't do there. So we left there, and so we're going to our next place to do the interview. Then, Leonard a DJ, so some man come for cut some dub plate. So him said, "Teach, me I cut some dub plate." Then I was waiting until it was late. Then we reach a place where I go do the interview. Then one next son string up somewhere, I play some music. And I work, I come from my brother. Tired, And me did I wait how long for do this interview, I don't think it was one of my best interviews, in all honesty. I always find it strange that sometimes the interviews them were really kick, at the interviews them where me not think was the best work in terms of, preparation and mindset and everything. But me interview Merciless, man. Merciless is the next man I need to get re-interview in the future too. But me can't re-interview enough man and share their story yet. You see? Yeah, man. But despite the fact that I'm tired and probably frustrated too, it was a good vibes. Me laugh straight through. You see? And at that time too, I don't know that my format and formula was nailed down. I was still trying to find a formula. I was still trying to, find my way in this whole thing. So that interview they probably need to do it in the future. What me interview with Merciless, man? Just search it, man. Merciless interview. Teach them. Teach you have the Dillinger interview. No, I don't have it yet, you know. It sounds like you have a link, James. Talk to me. I tried to locate him recently, but I don't locate him. Yeah, man. I know people that love the interview, man. Leonard, you know, man. The great Leonard Bartley. But as I say, it's an interview we're looking back at. First thing, it shouldn't be longer. A Merciless interview should be at least an hour and a half. That interview was about 55 minutes. See? That interview they done late the night. That's what that meant today. It was a evening and a night. But yes. The Jakur situation. See? It set away. You see? Auntie. Tommy Lee Sparta transferred from the Tower Street prison. So I did a video about this, but what does I mention it? James, you have a link with the great Dillinger. But me know we actively try. If Scotty in here, she can support. I think she has been trying to make the link. Juna Tucker. Yeah, I would love to interview Juna Tucker, you know. You understand? That should be after Nadine Sutherland. And I really say it works a little, Peter. And you know, work like that still. But say, Peyton, big up yourself in our family. We need Dan Mafia part 2. Brother, a 2-part Dan Mafia interview, bro. Part 1 and part 2. What you mean, Craig? Part 1 and part 2. So, I don't know what you need part 2 and part 2 did already, brother. So, Tommy Lee, you know that he was involved in a bus stop with correctional officers a few weeks ago. He was beaten unconsciously based on reports. He has since been transferred from can get it. Then do the maths on James, man. Then James, me don't need to ask if it. You know better than that, my youth. You understand? You know if you have them link, you have to teach. Link. Say link there. My youth. Tell us about your friend them later down, you know. Your friend them. Boy, I tell you. Your friend them. Right. So he was transferred to a St. Catherine prison. Whilst it wasn't stated in any article, I am suspecting the only prison in St. Catherine that Tommy Lee would be transported to is the St. Catherine Adult Correctional Center. I am just saying. Apparently, Sean Storm went the opposite way, so he was transferred to Tower Street. I didn't even know Sean Storm did if at St. Catherine Adult or Horizon, but he was transferred to Tower Street. So, that is the situation. His management team, that is Tommy Lee, said that he is doing okay, he's doing well. And yes, teach, you love the interview. See, brother, give thanks. Half pint, Joseph Will, Sanchez, link up. Well, anytime you're ready, anytime you're ready for Junior Kelly, let me know. I'm ready. I'm ready. I have made that move twice, and it hasn't worked out for various reasons. And I can't get into that right now, but I'm ready. Yeah, man. Half pint. I have been trying to find the great man, but I haven't found him as yet. You understand? Because I view Half Pint or I view Admiral Tibet, you know. Great men who are not as appreciated as they should. But that's the next story for you next time. Right, so that go on with Tommy Lee. He is recovering. He has been transferred and then something there. See? So peeps, you're late. 11:18. We're there for 8. 3 hours and 18 minutes are enough. But give thanks to that. We had a lot of technical issues tonight. I really don't know what happened to Scotty's internet. And then the whole thing failed with her, so I don't know. So I guess the only way probably was to fix that was to end the stream and start. I know that makes no sense. So hopefully next week everything will be balanced with Scotty. We have to probably call the ISP and get them sort that out and thing. I have heard that Peter, as it relates to Half Point, I have heard some things and things that I cannot say here either, because I don't know if they're true, and even if they were, I'd probably not say. But I've heard some things. I haven't spoken directly to him. I spoke to somebody who is a handler, so to speak. Like we always try to make moves and I make linking. I mean, we try to make link and people try to make link. Link always try to make. You understand? Some things just take some time. And thing, for example, an interview that I did since week, it's just management call me and say artists are coming to the country and we just make a thing happen because a big artist we have been wanting to interview. So I just saw the thing. Speaking about big artists, me tell you already from last Tuesday interview a Wayne Wonder. Me not started it yet still. I mean I pre the interview that over 3 hours. I don't think I could have got put in a part 1 and part 2. Because I noticed that thing with the part 2 interview people don't really watch them. I don't like that. I don't like that. You understand? And you can't play one interview straight for 3 hours. That not wise either. Because everybody now go sit down and watch an interview for 3 hours. So it is very difficult to play an interview for 3 hours. If the interview is part 1 and part 2, now watch the thing. We anyone that in my view is one of the greatest dancehall singers in the history of the thing. You understand? And I think Wayne Wonder is the singer version of Louis Culture. When big DJ name, when I talk about big DJ, people are going like they don't want to call Louis Culture name. And I don't know why. When big singer name come up, people are going like they don't want to call Wayne Wonder name, I don't know why. And them man they catalog and contribution to the music long so. But we are teach them. One by one we are teach them. And they say things. Yeah man. So we anyone that say the things them, you know. Yeah man, they don't hold no punches, you know. Right now people face bruise up and they don't get thumped, you know. As I said, you understand, man, they just talk things. You see? And we anyone that's one of the artists out of the music who has had international success. You understand? International success. Massive international success. We don't give away anyone that the credit we deserve both, yeah. I mean, I don't know why. You understand? And still, I must take in the King Everall thing, maybe all tonight. I say, I heard, man, manners, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So, we and Wednesday, and for me, well, you will learn from the interview that we anyone that was the artist that made me fall in love with music. I want to become a selector. Every time I remember that, I laugh. Yeah, man. It was a dance for keep. Alright. I want to watch the interview. You see it? Let me talk to you about that one time. But we anyone that there are a couple songs that was played back to back to back in a dance. I never got dance when I was a child. But when I ask them, I hear the dance. You understand? And I say, nah man, then I would do then tune. I never know the artist at the time. I never know the rhythms them at the time. As a matter of fact, one of the rhythms is the Punani rhythm. I never know about Punani like that at the time. I didn't even know that you have a rhythm named Punani. You understand? And some other things. You understand? And me I said, nah man, and it is as I grew then I understand who the artist was, and it brought me back to that night when me hear them songs play back to back to back to back. And me I said, then I sing this for life, man. Me want to play them tune back to back to back to back to. And I want to selector, and that's the next story for you next time. Lucian, I want to hear it. Brother, the interview then take a while, and some interview happen quickly, some don't. Some won't. You understand? And that's the nature of the thing. I try, Zane, and in the beginning, it was more challenging to get some interviews. I mean, we don't really have much challenges, no, except some challenges, but sometimes as the fans them to have to reach out to the artists them too and nudge them. You understand? Management have to leak them. Many of the interviews that I do are management reach out. No, I don't know if Scotty Garner, but she did a, you know what I'm saying? Pinchers now, Bandy, the great bandolier. It will happen eventually. That's all I can say. Certain things I cannot say, but I have tried with Bandolier on a few occasions. I think he wasn't ready at the time, at those times, so we'll see how it goes. See, some things just take time, you understand, and I believe that when an interview happens, it's the right time. That is just my view on it. See, no interview that before time. So I look on it now. And as I said, some interviews won't happen. Not saying that any of the names that you call already, I'm just saying I won't be able to interview everybody. And mark you, and everybody don't want to be interviewed. Well, or be interviewed by me. I remember we still try to make a name. Remember we not have the name and fame of some people who do interviews both here. But as the day goes by, we the artists them love, man. We them love research. It's a different vibes, it's a natural energy and vibration. The artists them comfortable. The artists them trust me. Because they know me now go splice them thing and if you get no sound bites and edit them thing to make them say things when they not see and then sitting there. Then trust me. That is the thing. So it a go on, man. It a go on. You understand? Just remember say it just take a time. Not for the man them not live here. Sometimes when the man them come here, say a day and two and them out again. And sometimes the man them even want to know say they don't even want people know say them come here too. So I know look at this. You understand? So we're there, peace. We just do the work. Everybody who wants to be interviewed will be interviewed. You understand? Just know saying that everybody wants to be interviewed and everybody wants to be interviewed by teach them. Seeing some people just not in the interview thing, you understand, for whatever reason, only they can tell you that. And some man just not ready, you understand? Seeing? And thing. And one of the things when the interviews them so organic and natural, most of the man them is a fan of the program. That is the thing. And most of the man them I support the channel even before me start the interview thing. You understand? So you see, just do good, man. Always do good, man. And good will follow you. That's the thing. So we are dealing with the one them we have now. We only one the next week. Mad. Peeps, big up on yourself. Scotty, me miss you tonight. You understand? Hopefully next week the thing will balance out. Peace. Thanks for the patience with the technical issues. And thing, I mean I listen myself in my headphone and I just sound nice. You understand? Yeah man, make me give thanks. You see it? I have a new device I try to do a thing with that. Still I learn it. But it's nice. It nice. You understand? The older devices there as backup in the future if as I feel safe, we're not trouble that. But that one is nice. Yeah man. Can advise too true if I want, but me not. You have to advise true. You see? Yeah man. So give thanks peeps for there. I spend some time with the family you know what I mean? That's the thing. The peace. Big up on yourself. Art of love. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. But still need to get a feedback on the thing if a Friday night or a Saturday night or a best stream night, you know. While I say I do it Saturday night now, I still, you know, cause you still have to give the people them what they want, you know. You see it? And thing. And we work for the majority. I like the Saturday night vibes. It's more of an easygoing, laid back vibes. You understand? Friday night people come in from work tired and then sitting there and, you know, but we just go on. It will have to alternate from time to time because, you know, some Saturday night I have to carry out the missus or some Friday night and so, you know what I think, it have to go switch around sometime. But a Friday night and Saturday, I like the vibes. Peeps, 7:30. Make it a date and don't be late. Don't look fit. Get book fit. Tuesday. Wayne Wonder. The great man. Walk good. Step with ya. Safe travel upon the gravel. Me out with me intro. I may not have no outro right now. I not make it back yet. I'm tired to say that, but I truth. Big up on yourself. I'm out. But when press you, I'm not out.
Kaboom! Teach them! Always make sure the message reach them.
Live from Kingston, Jamaica, broadcasting around the world. You're watching the Teach Them YouTube show. Intellectual, yet stimulating. Fair, frank, and factual. And now,
Broadcasting live.
We will broadcast
live. This is Extra Class, streaming to the world and beyond.
Hey, let's go.
You know, it's Teach Them, the #1 intellectual blogging panel on the YouTube channel.